What's good? Welcome to First Stream Podcast. And yes, we are early. We're early because we got two great guests for you tonight. We got Doc Walker and David Harrison joining us. The squad is getting in here. I see that you're still getting in here. We are here, me, Lady A, Doc Walker, and David Harrison. Y'all know what this is about to do. We about to turn up real big. I hope y'all really ready. Buckle up because it's time to get down. Let's go.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace 'em up. It's the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Lace 'em up. It's the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast Show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, First String is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Said from the South, so he read GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe, recommend to a friend. Nah, for real, like, subscribe, and recommend this to a friend. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast Show.
Welcome back to First Thing Podcast. Please do not forget to like, subscribe to First Thing Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alert for new content just like this. The most important part, though, is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First Thing Podcast. That's how we grow. That's why we continue the show. So, like I said, we got two guests with us today. We got Doc Walker and we have David Harrison with us. We're going to get them in here as soon as we can right now. But listen, if we don't get HR in here, we're all getting fined. Lady A, how was your day?
It was draining.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I
All
had
right.
my nephew today. It was unexpected, so I'm
Oh,
draining.
you had
One.
Taz.
Yes,
It was a Taz type of day. Okay,
yes. I
great.
have a
Great.
1-year-old with me today.
Right. All right. Well, like I said, we got two great guests. Let's get the first one in here. Doc Walker, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm waiting anxiously to see how we respond to defeat as we did last time we were defeated.
Yeah, great question. Because I'm waiting to, but I have a better question for you that I'm gonna ask here just in just a minute. David Harrison covers the Washington Commanders. How are you?
What's up, y'all? I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. It's been a minute since we had you on. Glad to have you back. Um, said will be coming in hot. Al will be coming in hot. They will be here. We went early, as I stated from the beginning, because we want to get this show on the road. Thank you to everyone that's jumped into the stream already. Please say what's up in the chat, and we will put that up on the air on the screen. We got Bruce Glass here on YouTube right now. Bruce is always first in the building. So Bruce, how you doing, man? We hope you are being safe as well. David, Doc, my question that I have is, do we have a road problem? I mean, both times we've been on the road, the competition has been increased in what we've had at home. But do you see us having a problem on the road?
I'm gonna let you take that one first.
Well, I think you have a problem at any time when you don't commit to the run. At home, when we've been our best, every time we have performed at a very high level, the ground game has set the tone. And so you got to know who you are. Then you figure out your opponent. we seem to be the opposite of that. We're trying to set bait. We don't even know if we're dealing with a predator or not. We need to be the predators. We need to be going out. It needs to be an off-tackle game. We're throwing our bigs at their bigs, and who wins the line of scrimmage. That's my goals are always the same every week. We win the line of scrimmage on both sides, and we don't turn it over, and we keep the flags in the official's pocket, then we got a chance. When we break that mode, now it becomes dicey. We don't want to have to live off big plays. They come when you suck the defense up. We're playing into their hands right now, in my opinion, because deep down inside, I don't think we want to be noted as a run-based team. We want to be more innovative. And I'm just not a fan of that approach.
Okay. Bloody some noses is what you're saying. Win both sides of the line of scrimmage, David.
Yeah, you know what? And that's exactly why I wanted Doc to go first, because I mean that right there leads exactly into what I wanted to say. I know a lot of people want to talk about the defense, and a lot of people want to say, yeah, but Doc, you know, the offense put up 27 points on the road. That's enough points to win, and it's the defense that didn't show up. But what it really is what you just said. It's the identity that didn't show up for this team. What happened in week 3 against the Las Vegas Raiders? The Washington Commanders came out and straight up just started shoving the ball down the Raiders' throats and said, we are going to physically just dominate you and outman you in every way, shape, or form in this game. Now, they still gave up some plays, but the overall tempo was set very early on, and it was set by the ground game. What happened this week against the Atlanta Falcons? They came out with this end-around craziness to Debo, and they came out with 2 more passes, trying to finesse it, trying to find these explosive plays right off the jump. And like Doc said, like you can want those explosive plays all day long. Everybody wants explosive plays. Who doesn't want explosive plays? But you got to set them up. You got to set the framework up. You look at some of the deep shots the Commanders were able to hit against the Las Vegas Raiders, or at least take against the Las Vegas Raiders. Talk about the big one to Terry McLaurin is a massive one. What was the Raiders defense doing on that play? They were stacking the box. Why were they stacking the box, Doc? Because they knew they were getting run all over, right? That's what the defense has to do when they're getting run all over. The Washington Commanders defense had to do it against Atlanta. They were getting run all over. So what were they doing? They were overbiting on the run. They were overbiting on play action, which is why you have some of these big plays that you have, especially down the stretch. Early on, there were just some blown calls, some blown coverages, things like that. But that is what I mean. That in that framework, football has not changed all that much, right? In that way, football has not changed all that much. There is one song being played in every dance, and which team picks the song, sets the tone, is going to dictate who wins that dance. And on Sunday, the Atlanta Falcons did it from start to finish. And it's the same thing that happened in Green Bay. Let's see what happens in LA.
So, in other words, Lady A, he said, if I ask you to the dance floor, I'm leading, you're following. And the Commanders have been following on the road. I like that analogy, David. I really do. The one that sets the tone is the one that leads. Lady A, it's your turn.
Yeah. So I asked this question to a couple people pretty much in the preseason games. I mean, it's preseason, yes, but sometimes you do get a sense of what's to come. I said I saw a lot of penalties in the preseason. We didn't experience that at the beginning of last season, but this season, we've been seeing a lot of absolutely ridiculous penalties, which are literally hurting the team. It's hurting the progression of the ball and the game itself. What do you guys think needs to be done, and how drastic of a change is needed for these penalties to be pretty much wrapped up?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to take that one first, Doc, if you don't mind, and then I might ask you to follow up. So here's the thing about the penalties. This is not a new problem. The Washington Commanders had a negative 111-yard penalty deficiency last year. The reason nobody was talking about it, well, we did talk about it from time to time, but the reason we didn't talk about it all year long, why, is because they were winning. What does winning do? It cures everything, right? So it masks some of those deficiencies. It masks some of those things that you're talking about. The reason we're all talking about it right now is because the team is 2-2, and some of these penalties, these drive-killing penalties that are happening are not only killing drives, but they're ending up killing games. And so what do we do with it when the team loses? We go back through with a fine-tooth comb and we say, okay, what are all the negatives we can find? Guess what? Against the Las Vegas Raiders, there were several blown coverages in that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. You know why none of us nitpicked about it? because they won the stinking game. Even though Trey Tucker put up a career game and 3 touchdowns, they
did.
won the game. So we didn't really go back through with a fine tooth comb. We said, okay, all is good because the cupcake tasted sweet. But what we didn't know is there's poison under the icing. So Doc, you know this better than I do. What is it going to take for this coaching staff to get this now 1.5 year long penalty problem under control?
Well, I tried to stress this early in the season. I go, first of all, you have to forget all about last year. And if you talk about last year, you got to talk about the 6 games that you won by the skinny. And if you don't look at that and say, suppose we had lost those 6, then maybe that's who you really are. See, until you identify who you are, you're never going to be able to move forward. And JD being out is a perfect example of it because he was a savior. Teams that bank on a savior, they tend to be big play based and not fundamentally sound. We got to pull that anchor in and, again, feed the ball to the backs. Let our offensive line be who leads us. And we were so wide receiver all offseason, wide, what? That's great. After we bloody your nose, after we beat you down, then we take the top off. We're trying to do it through innovation and creativity. And what happens is that the opponents really show you what little respect they have. Because when they can shove the ball down your throat, they're looking at it going, these guys can't stop us. We got people out there that can't cover people. So we're straining with our roster because it's not really as deep as we would like it to be. We have too many people that are drafted in the top 100 that don't play in the game. So that if you get into a dogfight, you're thin because you're overusing people and underutilizing people that you're paying. That's the big number one problem to me.
Yeah.
If I like you that much and I drafted you and I've had you here a year and a half, what's up? That I can't put you. A cynic stepped up. Love this kid. People get hurt in this game. You're only as good as your depth. And you'll see that when they play the Chargers. Don't fall into this trap about being decimated. They lost 2 or 3. Who's to say you can beat their backups?
Right.
You haven't proven anything yet. You haven't proven that you can dominate anybody yet. So that's my point. You know, you can say all the cute little things you want to say, but I don't even know who they are yet. I'm waiting for them to show me who they are. I need to. Good teams have an identity. You know, and I know as much as that scarlet and gray in the background shows you. Eddie George, Archie Griff, when they win they're running the ball down your throat. We're in Abert now. We got all these great receivers. Yeah, so what? You know, when you get on 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, you're not throwing to them guys. You're trying to pound the rock. That's what happened against Michigan. When they fail, it's because they failed to do what they do best. Be who you are. Right now, I'm confused as to our identity.
Well, Doc, I know one person that's not confused about their identity is our resident Cowboy fan and Alvin Forts. But however, he's coming in really humble and contrite right now because from what I understand, he just kissed, or the Cowboys just kissed their sister on Sunday night. And yeah, he's not gonna be bragging too much.
Oh, he's a Cowboy fan. He'll brag.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you know about Dallas. They never see what is in front of them.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Doc, David.
What
How
up?
you gentlemen doing, man? I know it's been a rough week for
Yeah.
you all, man. You know,
Yeah,
Atlanta
it
was
has.
a
Here
tough
you go.
trip.
Here he
It
go.
was.
Atlanta was a tough trip, man. I told you, I be careful in ATL. A lot of distractions down there. That's like
Well-
Miami North. I'm just gonna tell you, man. You go down there limping a little bit, you come out riding a wheelchair. I'm gonna tell you, man. It's tough down there, man.
See, Doc,
I'm
he was
just
right.
saying, man. You can't
He's
go
not
to
gonna
the
be
game
not
limping.
humble at all. He's
At
not
all.
gonna be humble at all.
Well, the Bulldogs, didn't I see a team go down to Georgia
Yeah.
and walk
Roll
away with
Tide.
roses?
I was telling them, saying
Okay,
that.
okay, I just want to make sure. Same state, I
Yeah.
want to make sure that so that's just on the pro side, not on the college side.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Al, we're talking about the Washington Commanders Atlanta game right now. We'll humble you here in a little bit when Lady A goes around the NFL with us. But Doc, and then here comes Say It. Here comes Say It right on cue.
That's that Georgia Bulldog you were just talking about, Doc.
Yeah, no, I knew
Yeah.
you'd show up.
Easy.
Yeah, no. Hey, look, they had a great run. You can't take anything away from the run they had.
Hey, Doc, it was a great win by the Falcons this past weekend.
You did what?
A great win by the Falcons this past weekend. I'm taking all commas.
Oh yeah, I understand.
He trying to get that W somewhere.
It's okay.
He got to.
That's gonna be the only win I'm gonna get. That's the only win I'm gonna get this weekend. How about that?
They'll win next offseason NIL race.
No. We're not gonna do it. We've already shown that we're not gonna overpay these kids to come play at Georgia. We're not gonna do it. That's how come the young man, the number one rated defensive lineman went to Texas, and that's how come the number one rated interior lineman went to Texas Tech.
I got a question. I got a question for Doc though, real quick, Doc. Doc, man, what they do? What's going on out UCLA, man? Why they let my man Deshaun? I know he wasn't performing well, man, but did he get an opportunity to really see what he was going to do out there for them Bruins? Because I know they wasn't living up to the expectations that you have, but they got a chance to let that man really put his foot on the program, stamp on the program.
Well, again, I wasn't there. I just talked to people that are. He lost to me at the press conference, the Big Ten press conference. And I was going, dude, you too smooth. I mean, give me Urban Meyer. Give me some people. I didn't think he had none of that dog in him.
Okay.
Great player, may have been a great assistant coach, but I mean, the kids represent what you're teaching and what you're doing in practice.
True.
You can't tackle anybody. You don't block nobody. I mean, so what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
With them 20 hours. What are you doing with them 20 hours? I
said that Signetti, when he was at JMU, I was screaming from the top of my lungs. That's the dude you needed.
Go get him. Oh my God,
Yeah.
He turned that program around.
Yeah, and because you can just see his demeanor.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. Now it's paid per play, and they're trying to do some things that I don't agree. But maybe they'll get together, maybe they don't. Somebody's got to be in last place.
Gotcha.
But I ain't used to send the Bruins out there like that, Doc.
Yeah,
That's
not,
probably the champion. That's home of champions, right?
Yeah, well, it was.
Well,
It was.
Let's turn our attention back to the pros right now, Doc. Doc, David Harrison with us right here on First String Podcast. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. We are here with our full cast of complement of our crew. We got Lady A, we have Alvin Porch, our resident Cowboy fan, and we have Shed, our Bulldog and Atlanta Falcons fan. So let's get back to this Atlanta-Washington game. So the thing that I noticed about this game was our offense, like you said, Doc, we didn't establish our identity. We didn't control the line of scrimmage. There were some good things that happened in this game, such as for the second week in a row, we had Christian McCaffrey step up. These things have to happen when you have players like Terry McLaurin, who's down for a little bit. You have Bates that is down for a little bit. You had Sennett step up. What is it that we need going forward to increase our line, our offensive line, to insert their dominance besides the running game? I'm gonna ask Doc that, and then David, can you follow up on that?
David, I don't know what you think, but I think that they had some kids up there that stepped up. You've got a top pick that's inactive, and you don't really lose a beat. I just don't think they're running the offense to accentuate what they do best. They're big, aggressive people, and they should be trying to smash people. The best, straightest distance is straight ahead.
Yep.
But, your coordinator has got to believe that more than anybody else. The hardest thing is matching what he wants with what they have and what they can do. He's with them all the time. So you can't be selfish about this. You may want to be able to show your innovation. All that's great. Once you get up by 3-4 touchdowns, go ahead and be fancy. To me, it's the line of scrimmage, and I do not like what they do. They put that kid out there against Green Bay by himself. Structurally, we got beat upstairs. I don't care who he is. He could be Trent Williams. But in your first game, I'm going 3 tight ends. I'm doing what Philly did to that kid. He's a great player, but he didn't wreck Philadelphia. They wrecked him because they ran right at him. They had tackles and guards, big offensive line. It's not that complicated. It's that sometimes I think coaches get selfish. They spend a lot of time in there drawing circles and lines and the whole bit. It's not about you. It's about you evaluating what do your people do best and give them a shot at that. When they run well. They've got 3 backs. I don't even care which one of them's in. I'll take them all. Rodriguez wasn't even active for a couple of weeks.
Right.
He comes in, gets you another big run, but for some reason You know, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. If a dude's that big and physical for me, I'm feeding him until his tongue runs out his mouth. But that's not what they are. So we'll find out, because this week will tell. Is it about them or is it about the kids?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I think you're spot on, Doc, because you know the team went into Green Bay and they very clearly came out with an approach of we're just try to throw the ball all over the yard, and it didn't work. You know, 6 design runs in the first half, 7 design runs in the second half, and you know the second half you're playing from behind, you're trying to play catch up. Okay, we got it, but you should not be out touching, you should not be out carrying your team, out rushing your team. In total attempts in the second half, trying to play catch up than you did in the first half, trying to set the tone, right? And then against the Las Vegas Raiders, they completely flipped the script. And they came out and they ran the ball, they ran it well. And Cliff Kingsbury said, following that game, everybody said, "What changed?" And he said, "Well, DQ changed. DQ came in, and basically, you know, he didn't say this, but he essentially hinted to us that DQ came in his office and said, 'Hey, dude, you're going to run the ball against the Raiders this week.'" Well, against the Atlanta Falcons, the weakest part of their defense, left end. That was the weakest part of their defense, the left end. Running to the right side of the Las Vegas or the Washington Commanders offensive formation against the left side of the Atlanta Falcons formation was the weakness of the Atlanta Falcons. Guess where Chris Rodriguez ran that 40-plus yard ball? Off the right side against the Atlanta Falcons left side. Chris Rodriguez Jr. averaged 8.4 yards per carry in that game, touched the ball 7 times. You know, that's coaching malpractice. And I think Cliff Kingsbury, you know, it's not that he doesn't care, right? I think that he absolutely cares, but we hear this phrase thrown all over the place: players over plays, players over plays. I heard it so much just this weekend watching college ball, watching, you know, the primetime games. Players over plays. What does that really mean? What players over plays actually means is understanding, like Doc said, what do your players do best? Call what they do best. Damn what you believe. Damn your air raid background. You love throwing the ball all over the yard. You want to go deep. You want to do all these things. If you don't have the horses to run that race, you have no business being on the track.
What is the
guys you have on the field need to run the ball?
What is the raid one other than stats?
Nothing.
Well, and the thing about the air raid too. Yeah, and the thing about the air raid too, and Doc, you'll know this, and football historians will know this. The air raid offense is actually not the spirit of the air raid. I should say the spirit of the air raid offense is not actually just go deep constantly. It's about using the entirety of the field. And when you look at this Washington Commanders backfield, you got Chris Rodriguez Jr., who can pound the ball inside the guards, inside the tackles all day long. You got Jeremy McNichols, who can kind of do a little bit of both. He can run outside, he can run inside. And then you got Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who you should be using as an edge demon all day long. And he's got underrated receiving ability that hasn't been tapped into yet. You got 3 backs that literally give you a different flavor. You should be giving them a different scoop, a different serving every single drive and making them adjust to your looks. And again, like we just talked about, set the tone of the dance, make them follow you, and you control the tempo.
Well, the Jets did it last night. The opening drive. Yep. It would have been about 95 yards. They threw up and gave him the ball back, but I didn't discount the way they were doing it. I go, wait till Harbaugh. Even though he might be light on the people he has in there, whoever's on his team is going to be able to come out. They're coming at you. And our D-line is going to be tested once again in a way is that they don't rush the quarterback well. So you got to be good at one of the 2 things. If you don't rush well, you better stop the run.
Yeah.
And force people. You can't be mediocre at both.
I got a question.
No, give me a second, Al. Listen, we're here on First Thing Podcast. If you haven't liked or subscribed to First Thing Podcast yet, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this is what we do. We bring you informative guests such as Doc Walker, David Harrison. Our list goes on and on. Make sure you like, subscribe to First Thing Podcast. Come on, Al.
Kind of going to what you just said, Dave, and what Doc said. Do you feel because you were down so many starters that they felt they had to be a little bit cuter as opposed to stand to what the identity of the team is? That would seem to be what you would stick to more, trying to keep it, like you said, Doc, keep it simple. You ain't got to get cute. But it seemed like even Joe Witt and your OC, it seemed like it gave them more autonomy to call plays or do what they wanted to do as opposed to what the players they had in place were best.
I like it. Yeah, I like what you're saying. I think one of their strengths, they got 9 offensive linemen that can play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just load it up. I mean, 3 tight ends, 2 tack, whatever. It doesn't have to look innovative. Sometimes you got to go just bully ball. Yeah. It's not like the Falcons were presenting a vicious front 7.
Right.
You know, it's not like you weren't playing the Eagles. So it's an opportunity to impose your will on the opponent. That's the thing that scratches my head with. They compete against the Eagles. It's not like they get blown out.
Right.
They can, but where's that game plan? Where's that likeness that you're up against a challenge? Compete with it. You got one offensive lineman out for the most part. The other guy, that's your decision not to play him. But I'm still paying attention to it. Too many high picks not performing.
True.
David, you want to follow up on that one?
Yeah, no, I think it's spot on, right? And again, it just goes back to doing what your team does best. The deepest part of this team right now is the offensive line. You got backups out there that just want to go out there and just hit somebody in the face. Like if you don't think Nick Allegretti wants to be in there as an eligible lineman and pull right to left, pull left to right, find a gap, find a linebacker, and just knock him back on his ass. Like you don't know Nick Allegretti, and trust me, I know Nick Allegretti. That's exactly what he wants to go out there and do. You know what I mean?
Stepped up.
Yep, Doc. You mentioned Ben Sinnott. I'll tell you what, no targets, no catches. A lot of people are like, what do we got this guy in there for? Watch him block. Watch him chip some of these edge rushers.
Effort he gives.
Watch him go out there.
Outstanding.
1,000%. And I'll tell you right now, that was the biggest concern about him. The biggest question mark about him was, can we get him to block kind of like a John Bates does? And I'll tell you what, these 2 games he's had the chance. He's absolutely stepped up and showed that, yeah, he can possibly do that. So I think that the future is looking good for him. But, Doc, to your point, man, I mean, Brandon Coleman, there's a lot of, questions about why the situation is what it is with him, but he's inactive. He's, in street clothes on the side. Johnny Newton, right? Like he's out there in dress, but he's playing 23 defensive snaps in the game against the Atlanta Falcons. Like you have some questions to answer about kind of what's going on.
Is he hurt?
There with him? He's not hurt. He's definitely not hurt. He's not in the rotation as much as you would think that he would be. And, meanwhile, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, they have talent, but it's like, Javon even kind of said himself, man, like he himself said, I have to stop trying to reach out and grab a guy with my hands to make a tackle. I got to put body on body. And it's like, that you got to do this. What is missing to prevent these guys from doing it in Green Bay, doing it in Atlanta? And I think, again, we're kind of circling about it. We talked about it. It's attitude. You know what I mean? You got to find the dog in every one of these guys. You got to go find the fighter in every one of these guys and go out there and just say, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to take your lunch. And right now, it's not happening.
Is McGee hurt?
Jordan McGee is not hurt. He is not hurt.
It's not playing.
Oh, we're going to get there because, Doc, we're going to get there. I got questions. Come on, say it.
Well, I mean, from the perspective, you're right. You guys did have times some good runs, which is exactly the opposite of what Atlanta did in the second half of that game. They decided to pull Bijan out, put him in the slot, and run Algier, all tackle left, all tackle right. Because the fact was that they thought they found a spot where they could run the ball, and they did just that. This is what the question we had about Kingsbury a few years ago when he came in. Was he going to be willing to run the ball, or is he going to go back to what he did when he was in Arizona, which is throw the ball around? And so far, he's going back to what he did before. Don't get me wrong. It was, not taking for granted it was Mariota that was in there and not Jaden Daniels, but still, once you break off that big run, just like Doc said, we're going to run it to the left, we're going to run it to the right, we're going to run it back to the left until they stop it. They didn't do that. They stopped it on their own, whereas on the other side of the field, Atlanta kept running the ball. They're not going to stop it over here, we're going to run it over here. They're not going to stop it over here, we're going to run it over here. I seen, just like you talk about Kinlaw, I seen Kinlaw did a couple reaches. He grabbed somebody in the backfield. They pulled away from him, got away from him. I seen Deron Payne blow somebody up and tackle for loss in the backfield. The problem was they're not doing it consistently. And what I told Pick many, many years ago when it came to Dan Quinn, the soft spot to his defensive scheme is a tight end. And did not Pitts in the contract year go out there and eat. Second year in a row against Washington, he went out there and ate second year in a row. So it's not just the offensive line. Sometimes the defensive line take days off as well.
Well, Sid, you got a lot off your chest just now.
He did.
Man, you didn't hold back now one bit of your kibbles. You ate it all. Your plate is empty. But I didn't hear a question. So where's your question?
It's not really a question. It's just I'm agreeing to what both guys said. There's not really a question there. They have to fix it. What is Kingsbury going to do? Is he going to run the ball? Is he going to pass the ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think
So
you make a great point.
There.
You make a great point, man, because I mean, the old adage is it's hard to be a good football team if you're bad in the trenches, right? And I think that on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, we saw the defensive line play poorly. whether it's technique, scheme, whatever it causes. They play poorly. Again, me personally, I think more than scheme, it was a mentality thing. But that's a debatable topic. On the offensive side of the ball, it wasn't that the offensive line, or like you said, Doc, like the run game wasn't doing well. It's you're not using it right. And if you have a magazine full of bullets and you never pull the trigger, those bullets don't matter. So it doesn't matter if you have them; they're worthless to you. And that's pretty much what that's kind of what fits the running game analogy from this last game. So one side by lack of execution and lack of effort, or not even effort, but just intensity, and the other side from a lack of usage were not up to par, and you end up with what you end up with.
Does any of this go back to the preseason? All preseason, I preached that the effort from the backups did not look impressive to me for the Commanders. And when you got Jaden in there, that's a cheat code. It's easy when you got him, but when you got to get them ready when it's not Jayden leading the helm, you got Mariota, and you got a week of preparation from what you've seen to play, how you're going to call plays with them. That's what surprised me about this game, and I don't know, maybe for you all. No one jumped off the screen as a backup to say, hey, this is my time, outside the running back room. Nobody else jumped off the screen for me, especially on that defense, to say, I got to make a play because we don't have our full fledged soldiers today. So I gotta go do a little bit of extra. I didn't see that on the defense. And you're dealing with what I told you all last week was a wounded dog coming off a very bad performance against Carolina. They weren't going to be that same team you saw on film against Carolina, because they couldn't be if they wanted to do anything in that division. So what do you think that had anything to do with it? Because you didn't see a lot of effort in that preseason. I kind of saw that type of effort this week from the backups.
Well, if you're not trying to start or trying to make the team, you shouldn't be on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Paul is a great example. He got his shot. He came in there. He's playing like a madman. Big boy. I love him.
Refused to
big
go back
physical
to the
freak. And he's running. I mean, see, when you look at the game, is don't overcomplicate the game.
Right.
And that's why I love what the Eagles do. They're not trying to trick nobody
at all.
Now their run right now may be stymied a little bit, but they can continue to keep winning. They don't have to do razzle dazzle. It's fundamentally, I'm going to control the line of scrimmage on both levels. It's going to keep me close in games. They could have lost a couple, but they didn't. Stick to who you are. I don't know who we are. I look for personality in teams. Teams have personalities. And, David will understand, I run back to college references. One thing about the Buckeyes is that even though they're supremely talented on the outside, if they're going to get to the promised land again, it's the interior.
Yep.
It's going to get it done. They can beat you. They got freaks. But in order to do what they need to do, it's the inside game. And they go there understanding that. We played against Woody and them, and it wasn't a joke. They had Pete Johnson, Archie Gray. They've always had a philosophy. We're going to beat you up front. They're not, everything else happening out there is academic. We don't even care about that.
Right.
We have to control the line of scrimmage. And so we talk about this. We think we're going to see it because we just saw it against the Raiders. And then we go, well, what happened? Well, what happened to that approach? Yeah, Falcons were pissed. We should be angry as hell based on that Monday night debacle that we put on film that somebody we could be abused like that. We should be mad all year. So what we got to motivate you every week? What's your check for?
Speak, preach, God. Preach.
Yeah, I think that it goes beyond just having a couple of guys, not even a handful of guys that are trying to step up and kind of bring that energy, right? It talks to leadership, and leadership. We talk about a lot of players in the NFL and that guy's a leader because they go out and they ball out every Sunday. That's not leadership. Leadership is influencing other people to be better than who they are and to maybe come with more energy than who they are, right? Because you got dogs on this team like Deebo Samuel. I mean, look, Deebo Samuel is one of 10 players this weekend to catch all of his targets in a single game. So that's Deebo Samuel showing up, and Deebo has a history of dropping passes if you didn't know already. So Deebo is a dog, right? Stepped up for his team. Luke McCaffrey is a dog, stepped up for his team. Not only had the touchdown catch, but came back on the ensuing kickoff and absolutely stuck the Falcons' return specials, right? So that's a guy who's out there hungry, looking to get it every single
Top
game.
100
Chris
player,
Paul,
that's what we expect.
Yeah, Doc, you mentioned Chris Paul. I'll tell you right now, I was a guy who was out on Chris Paul 2 years ago. And I'll tell you, somebody did a breakdown of one of the combo blocks. Him and Laramie Tunsil double team one of the Falcons D linemen, push him up to the second level. And as soon as they get to the second level, Chris Paul peels off and absolutely drills a linebacker about 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That is a block that 2 years ago, Doc, I was not seeing Chris Paul make. And I was angry on the sideline at him for his own line coach saying, Chris Paul, like, you are too big and too powerful to not be getting up to that level and pushing that linebacker around. Now he's out there doing it. So you have guys, Ben Sinnott, Jeremy Reeves chasing down Bijan Robinson all across that field. The fastest Bijan Robinson has ever run in his entire career, and Jeremy Reeves chased him down from the opposite side of the field. So you've got dogs on this team. The problem is you don't have dogs on this team that are injecting that energy into other players. And I'm not sitting here saying it's an easy thing to do. Like, Rebo, you just got to step up and be that leader. It's not easy to influence other people, especially when they're getting paid just as much as you are or more. But that, I think, is really the big problem with why this team can't get going on the road, is because they don't have that influence to spread throughout the locker room before that game. And you see it when they come out, they get punched in the mouth, and they just wait for somebody else to punch back, and nobody is stepping up. Somebody's got to get mad, honestly. Like, someone's got to get pissed off, and to the point where you start hurting each other's feelings and holding each other accountable, in the sense of not just we're talking to each other on the sideline about it, but no, we're going to call each other out, and we're going to make it known, who's not doing their job, because it's happening too often.
Yep.
Come on, Lady A.
So we have, I feel we do have a talented rookie group this season. We talked about Connerly. I mean, he pretty much was baptized by fire this season.
Poor scheme.
You said what?
They had him in a bad situation.
Yeah. I mean,
that was structurally,
it was
incompetent.
It was welcome to the NFL.
But it didn't break him down. What I love about him is that,
and that's what I said.
national TV, everybody in there, my God, he hung it, didn't break him.
It didn't. And that's what I was saying. I'm like, he's in a position where people are going to come to you because you're the rookie and they feel like you might be the weakest link. And you got to, kind of what David was saying, they're going to punch you in the mouth. You got to punch back. So I felt like that we were just waiting on that to happen with Connerly. He's a big guy. He's talented. And I feel like that's just, something that he needs. So to both of you, who is that rookie that you're just waiting for them? They're on the cusp of just a true breakthrough to have an excellent year, if not already.
Well, I'm waiting on some of these kids on defense that can run, that don't get in the game.
True.
So I saw some guys knocking fire out of people in preseason. I haven't seen them in the games yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not a coach, but I'm just going based on what I'm seeing out there. Why not try something? Somebody's going to come and knock fire out of people.
Yeah.
Come out of that secondary or line. We need linebacker. Look, on third down, and I love Wags. It's not fair to him to put him in some of these situations. You don't get enough pressure for him to be on the field in a passing situation. If you had Dexter and Charles Mann and them guys rushed up, that's a whole different thing. He's too good to be put in that position.
Yeah.
Why am I paying these young guys? They can't. Okay, so you don't play. What do you do? Why are you on the team? I never care who they pick. You pick whoever you want to pick, but show me why you picked them.
Right.
Top 100 players, somebody should be in the game by now for situations. You can't play nickel. You can't play. I don't understand that. I need somebody to break that down to me. And really, whatever they say, I don't listen to any of that. I watch it on game day. Yeah. That shows me exactly what I need to see. No matter what you said, all your slogans, that don't mean nothing to me. What matters is what you do in the game. And so some of that's working. I love it. I love the spirit. There's so much improved. See, here's the problem. They entered a cesspool when they came here. The program was so decayed. You had the worst group of human beings in the world, managing, coaching, doing all this stuff. So they came in and resurrected the dead. It was remarkable what they did. But there's no carryover. It's a whole new season, brand new slate, and you got to live up to that. Now people are afraid of you. So if you don't come out and live up to it, then you're going to get rejected. And last year will be completely ripped away, and I don't want that to happen. They can control this right now. I figured I was looking for 3-1 in September. Every year I go 3-1. It's where you got to be. They're 2-2. They're good. They're all right. You know, and it can't all be about JD5. You know, just can't be. He's not built for that. You look at him and you think, I'm going to get 17 games of him running? No, not going to happen. If I'm playing against him, that's the first thing I'm going to do is try to get him out.
Yep.
See, but he's a competitor. He'll come back. They'll have more juice when they come back. But I just don't like how they respond. Why do we have to motivate them? That's what the bag is all about. I keep hearing the bag. I get it. Okay, they paid you. So what do we get?
Come on, David.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, I think you make a lot of good points. I mean, the other side of this too is there's a side of this where this generation of players sees their press a lot more than, you know, previous generations of players. And look, even in the 90s and all that stuff, like Doc, you know, that like there were guys who went out there and they read all the clippings and they read all the Sports Illustrated issues and all that stuff that came out. But if you wanted to be a guy that read your press, you had to go find it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just necessarily coming to you outside of like Sports Center, right? You had to go find it. Today, I mean, look, I'm not going to tell y'all who it is just because we're just going to let him, you know, let bygones be bygones. But I remember there was a game not that long ago when I was covering this team. This team got their butts kicked. It was not a player currently on the team. Got their butts kicked, and we walk in the locker room, and I just happened to walk past him. You know, his locker is right there, first in the locker room. I happened to walk past him, and I happened to look down. Wasn't being nosy, but I just happened to look down, and what do I see? This dude isn't even out of full uniform yet, hasn't taken a shower yet, and Doc, he hasn't done his press conference yet. And what is he doing? He's scrolling through Twitter, like. That is the generation that is growing up right now. So these guys see and they hear everything. And not only do they see and hear everything, but they care about everything. And, you know, every single one of these guys to a T will tell you, I don't care. But yes, you do. And it does impact things. You know what I mean? And I think that it's just kind of a different breed of player that you have in the NFL today for whatever reason. But you do have some of these guys that just want to go out there and they just want to perform for their teammates and for their team, for themselves. You know what I mean? And the good news is Jaden is one of those guys. But Doc, to your point, like you have to protect these players from themselves sometimes. That's why Jaden hasn't played these last 2 weeks. I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of coaching staffs and a lot of teams that would have put him out there this last week against the Falcons. Possibly would have put him out there the other week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Just put a brace on and go out there and do it up. But this coaching staff, you have to give them credit that at least is going to protect them from themselves. But
I like them.
How are you going to? Yeah, absolutely. But how are you going to? You have to accept who these players are, and you have to accept who you have. How are you going to get the best out of them? It kind of goes back to what we're talking about: players over plays. You have to get to that mindset, and it can't take another week of like. If we come out in Los Angeles, I'll tell you right now, if we come out in Los Angeles and they just pound the rock down the Chargers' throats, it's going to be great, and everybody's going to say, "All right, they're back. All right, they got to figure it out again. Okay, let's go." But I'll tell you right now, what everybody in the press box is going to say, and what Doc's probably going to be saying is like, hold up, Cliff. You told us after the Packers game that DQ made you run the ball against the Las Vegas Raiders. Then you come out against the Falcons and go away from the run game again. Then you come out against Los Angeles and you get made to run the ball again. Same question. You, as the offensive coordinator of this team, why do you have to be made to use your players in the best way for that's going to be successful for them instead of doing it on your own? That's a good question that's got to get answered down the line.
You're right. Well, he's creative. And that's what I call him an artist. He's an artist. You know, and he's damn good at what he does. But then you have to have everything work. It's a lower percentage of success if I have to include all 11 people. When I'm dealing with 6 people, the odds go to my way because I'm running that ball right or left. And so I need them 3-4 thugs on one side and the back. So I'm shortening the thing. I'm making it to my advantage. If you don't have people big enough in the britches to take what we got coming at you, my backs, they don't fumble. They run hard. We got all these things going for us. Let's show it. And if you get up by 18 points or whatever, then go air it out. Done your reverses. I'm not impressed with none of that. I want it to be straight ahead because of the mindset it takes. You take a trick play, I'll do a gadget, okay. But people are going to say, okay, they tricked us that time. But to be able to beat the Eagles twice, the way you're going to have to, the Cowboys and the Giants, it's about the division to me. All I care about is the division. Yep. We got to win that. And I'm just telling you right now, watching our New York's win, Dak's performance. You got to pay attention. And the Eagles are the Eagles. So how are we going to win that? Coming at this the way we're approaching it. We know what their strong points are. What are ours? And that's what we got to see.
And I'll be honest with you, Doc. I'll be honest with you. I like the end arounds. I like the reverses. I like the crazy flea flicker options to the tunnel screen to the wire. Like, you want to do all this crazy stuff. I like it. It's entertaining. I enjoy it. But here's the thing that everybody knows. What do defenses do in the beginning of every game? They're patient. They're staying back. They're staying home. They just want to read you. They just want to see how is it you're going to come out here and try to attack us. Defenses in the beginning of the game, very rarely, I would say if there is one in the league right now, it's probably a Brian Flores defense. But very rarely is a defense coming out from snap number one, selling out for stuff, going all the way in on a run. So when you run a reverse, you're running it against a defense that everybody's just trying to stay home. The key to a reverse is getting the defense going one direction, getting the ball going the other direction. You run it against a defense that literally is not selling out on anything. The reverses work, screens work, double reverses, all this other craziness works. Again, going back to that Raiders game, when you have a defense that is stacking the box and saying, but hey, the second you think you know where the ball is going, you go get that thing, because if we give them a second to think, they're going to hit a seam and they're going to be gone. But you're running against a defense that's literally just staying at home saying, okay, what are you going to do here? And then they're going to rally. One quick thing before we move on, because you guys did mention Josh Connolly Jr., and I love that you mentioned Josh, because I think that he needs a lot of credit for this game as well, because no, there was no Max Crosby, no Brian Burns, no Micah Parsons. I'll tell you what the Atlanta Falcons threw at Josh Connolly this weekend. If you go back and watch it, they threw at him Zach Harrison, who's a very talented rookie, James Pierce Jr., who is a very athletic rookie, Leonard Floyd, who's a very established veteran, and that's only 3 guys. Josh Connolly Jr. faced no fewer than 5 different pass rushers against the Atlanta Falcons. So I talked about this before the game. That was going to be the challenge in this game, is every single snap he came to the line, he had to look out there at that Falcons defensive end or edge rusher line up over him and say, okay, what does this guy do that these other guys don't do?
There you go.
Literally, Josh Connolly Jr. had to go up against about a 5-headed pass rush monster this weekend. That's a totally different approach. Yeah, it's absolutely smart by the Atlanta Falcons, but Josh Connolly Jr., again, still holding his own. And I can confirm what Doc has been saying. That dude in the locker room, he is not fazed by Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, none of these guys. He's taking every single lesson in stride and saying, you know what, it's going to make me an all-pro someday. And it's been really impressive to watch him.
Yeah, I agree. And so you pick up my rookie, and it come out Bates. Bates is out. You know, we a lot of people in our market, our media, they spend so much time talking about people that aren't going to play. I don't mention anybody that's not going to play. What's the value in that? No value. I'm worried about, now they're showing you built a roster, prove it. And they've shown you they can take some hits. Mariota played his butt off against the Raiders. And then I saw him a little bit tentative, and I don't know why he didn't pull the ripcord, but that's what happens when you don't have a consistent ground game. You give, because that dude running that read option is fantastic. But I didn't think we ever got in a good run. We never got a good rhythm of running. But the backs are there. I like our backs. A lot of things about this team I like. I'm just confused right now in how they're being utilized.
That was my point.
Hold on. So I want to talk about something. I said this to Sid a couple of days ago. Sid, remember we talked about the fish, right? A fish out of water. You catch them flounder. You catch them, squirming and everything like that, right? We have 2 fish on our defense right now. One is Bobby Wagner. We talked about that, and the other one is Marshawn Lattimore, right? I got the right one, right, Lady A?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah. So how do we fix these fish? David, I believe you said something about or David or Doc, you said that Bobby should not be in on obvious passing downs and on third downs when we know that he is a fish out of water. I mean, if he is on the field, we should know that he's key in the blitz, and we should have one of our young guys, Madrano, McGee, in the game for him. Where do we put Marshawn is my question. How do we know he can't cover the fastest wide receiver, which we know is the guy from TCU that he's going to play against this week. But where do we put him? Why are we not moving Amos? Why is he not traveling? Why is Mikey not back on the outside to put Marshawn in a more advantageous position? David, let's start with you.
Any corner will tell you their best friend is pressure.
Yes.
I like Mark. I'm not down on him. I know what he's dealing with. So imagine if you got to cover these receivers with very little to no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think to me, the one thing Dallas used to do that I really enjoyed is that with Jimmy and they coming. When in doubt, I'm gonna get you off your spot because I'm bringing pressure. That's the best way I can help my DBs is to get after your court in your quarterback's mind. We're coming because that speeds everything up. To give up a 45-yard play or whatever, that's because you have no pressure. And people are hard to guard. I think he'll play better. He's real handsy, and he's always has been. But I think the only remedy for a corner is a pressure attack with your front seven.
Right.
And I thought we had that. But the injuries may change it. We bring in a free agent. People just got to do the jobs.
Yeah.
If we got people we brought in specifically to rush the pass, when are they going to start? Well, I just like to see the contracts. Did y'all sign something that said you're not going to start until October?
So to reinforce what you're saying, Doc, I mean, everybody's a little bit different on how they measure things, right? But most people that I know that get deep in the analytics and stat tracking, if there's a sack after 3 seconds, it's considered a coverage sack. So what does that tell you? That means you expect your pass rush to get to the quarterback faster than 3 seconds. You talk about a 40-yard pass down the field, air travel time. How long do these wide receivers run their 40s? Okay. How fast do they run their 40s in pads after they're tired and have run that sprint 30 times today against contact against a DB, right? So if you're getting 45 yards downfield, and I'll tell you that 40-plus yarder that Marshawn gave up, he was in good coverage. That's just a better ball and a better play by the receiver. Like, that's just a hat tip to the offense on that play. Where people should have a problem with Marshawn, but where people should have a problem with Marshawn Lattimore is where he's getting beat handedly on these double moves or some of these ridiculous penalties. But let's go back on this to Marshawn Lattimore's history. And you guys saw the Ohio State helmets behind me. I've been watching Marshawn Lattimore for a very long time. And I will tell you that Marshawn Lattimore has never been a technical cornerback. He has never been a technical wizard as a cornerback. He has always been a bigger dog than your best wide receiver. That is what Marshawn Lattimore's game is. Part of being a dog is I'm trying to get a pick. Guess what you do against guys who want to fight that hard to get a pick? You hit double moves on them, right, Doc? And guess what happens when your quarterback's not getting pressured and your receiver hits a double move on a dog? He's going to get wide open sometimes. The only penalties I have a problem with Marshawn Lattimore, honestly, are the after the whistle stuff, and I get it. It's kind of part of his mentality. It's just kind of part of his makeup, but I still have a problem with it. But that whole
can't do it.
Honestly, you guys, look, any defensive coach will tell you, if my guy is beat, take the hold. I will take the hold and a 10-yard penalty, whatever, or a spot foul DPI at 15 yards over a 25-yard bomb any day. Now, on that play against Atlanta, the guy comes up with the ball too. So, but again, kudos to the offense for making the play. But those types of things, man. And so, like with Doc, I don't have a problem with Marshawn. I understand that people have a problem with Marshawn. I don't have a problem with Marshawn. And I don't have a problem with Bobby either. I actually agree. So it's funny, Doc, that you bring it up, because on my episode today of Locked On Commanders, I talked about, should Bobby Wagner be benched? No. Should Bobby Wagner come off the field in obvious passing downs on third down? Maybe. But first, second down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you can't take Bobby Wagner off the field because of what he brings mentality and leadership wise. He's a great blitzer. He's a great blitzer. Here's the problem with that argument that people are going to push back on from this Atlanta Falcons game. That screen pass to Bijan Robinson, that happened on first down. Bobby Wagner is going to be on the field no matter what. There's a couple of other plays that this defense is beat on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4. Bobby Wagner is going to be on the field in those situations, not Jordan McGee. And trust me, you do not want Jordan McGee on the field over Bobby Wagner in those situations, because all that trash that Bobby Wagner failed to filter through to get to Bijan on that swing pass, trust me when I tell you that 8 times out of 10, Jordan McGee, just because of a lack of experience, is not going to get through that trash any cleaner. And Bijan Robinson's going to be running down the field anyway, but he's going to be running away from Jordan McGee. And guess what we're all going to be saying on Monday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon after that game? Why wasn't your Hall of Famer on the field? Why did you have Jordan McGee and his inexperienced butt covering Bijan Robinson? So guess what? That rep right there, that was a scheme thing. Dan Quinn kind of talked about it. Bobby Wagner knows this, and I guarantee you Bobby Wagner's kicking himself over it. What do you do in that situation? You take the air out of the play. What does that mean? It means you run over the top of it. Bobby Wagner, if you watch that play, didn't run over the top of it. He tried to take a straight line straight line direction through the trash, and that's why he got burned. If he takes the air out of the play, look, Bijan's still going to get probably 12, 15 yards, but he's not going to get 50 yards, right? So that's an execution error. It's a little bit of a scheme error, but also you got to remember, man, the offensive coordinators are paid to scheme too. Everything we want Cliff Kingsbury doing, that Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator is paid to do as well. And what he was doing all game long, once he realized that Bobby Wagner was going to be on the field on all those third downs, is putting his team in a situation where he had the best guy on their worst guy, Drake London, in the slot. Falcons fans have been calling for Drake London to run in the slot for over a year now. Finally, the Falcons do it, and who do they do it up against? 5'8" Mikey Sanderstill. And guess what? That man plays like he's 6'2". But if you play 6'2", you're still short for Drake London, and you still ain't coming down with all those balls, right? So you also have to tip a cap to what the Atlanta Falcons did, because I mean, you move Marshawn inside of the slot, you move Mikey Sanderstill back outside. Guess where number 5 is going to line up? Outside on Mikey Sanderstill. Like, you know what I mean? It don't really matter at the end of the day.
Right.
You just have to figure out how to put you guys in the best position to be successful. And as far as Trey Amos not traveling, I'll just put it to you this way. Cornerback, in my opinion, cornerback is the second hardest position to transition from college to the National Football League. Trey Amos, as a rookie, does not need to travel. Trey Amos needs to stay on one side of the field. He needs to learn his checks. He needs to learn how to execute the reads and all that kind of stuff. And if he does well in that, then maybe later on down the road we can talk about him traveling. But right now, he needs to focus on just how to play from that left side before he worry about anything else.
Yeah. Well, if we're not going to get pressure, then we just got to admit it.
That's what it's all about.
Put them umbrellas up and start playing deep zone, because don't fool yourself. If you can't get to the quarterback, there's just certain things they can't run. Because Atlanta, this is the same team that got skunked a week ago. The hard thing about this is that now they fired Henry Ellen, I think the receiver coach. So that was all on the receiver coach? I kill you?
Yep. I kill you.
Yeah, I kill you. Really? So
I'm with you, Doc.
Coaches have brain farts too. They had one a week ago. But what they did against us, which you got to anticipate, they shot their guns. They shot their guns. And, you know, you lose games. I can get that. But I got to know my personnel. It didn't seem like defensively we really understand our personnel on the field, what they do well and what they don't do so well. Our job is to protect them from that. And then we got to get some players to step up. When we took the kid out of Illinois, everybody talking about first, when is he going to play? I mean, I just keep thinking to myself, for all the enthusiasm they have, and I love the way they do it, but it's got to end up with results. Mm-hmm. And right now, I'm just not seeing it on a consistent basis. Do we have one badass that's going to have this best season? Who's going to have their best season out of these young people in there? Who's going to pop out and become something? I just that's what I look for. We got all this great development, but we need somebody to crack the egg and be born. Because right now, Green Bay game and this game, that's not supposed to happen. You can lose, but not in the manner in which they've lost those. Mm-hmm. That's unacceptable.
Yep. I mean, look, you talk about, Dan Quinn will tell you himself, he is a developmental coach. That is who Dan Quinn is. That's who Dan Quinn wants to be. And look, the development of the players is not just on Dan Quinn, right? But so let's get that clear. But when you look at the fact that year 1 to year 2 is supposed to be the biggest year of a jump for a player in the National Football League, and we take Jaden out of it a little bit because he's missed half the game so far. But when you look at all these year 2 players, who can we look back into? Who can we look at right now? And again, we still got 3 quarters of the season left to play, right? So this is a very premature conversation. But who can you say is taking a step right now from year 1 to year 2? The only guy is Luke McCaffrey. Maybe Ben Sinnott, just because we didn't really get a chance to see him doing as much as he's doing right now, right? So Luke McCaffrey, Ben Sinnott at best. Brandon Coleman has regressed. Johnny Newton at best is staying pat. Jordan McGee is not on the field for the defense much, if at all. Dominique Hampton is no longer with the team. So you go through it, and it's like, okay, your developmental staff, your developmental coach, why isn't the development happening?
Where is the development?
Which part of that is on you? Which part of that is on the player? And how do we move forward from here? Because when Dietrich Wise got injured, we all thought, and when I say we, I'm talking about beat reporters, we all thought what was going to happen, Doc, and everybody, was that Javon Kinlaw was probably going to move to the edge, and then Johnny Newton would come in to play inside. Well, what has actually happened is they're leaning on Javonte Jean-Baptiste, who's a guy I just forgot, second-year player, who apparently was taking a step forward. He's a 7th-round pick, now getting starting reps as a D-end. They're not sliding Javon Kinlaw over to get Johnny Newton more snaps. That, to me, is a red flag when you would rather have your 7th-round D-end, who was 3 guys down on your depth chart not that long ago, playing more reps than your 2nd-round pick you had a 1st-round grade on, playing inside and while Javon slides outside, to me, that's a red flag.
Didn't Baptiste get a shoulder?
He got a pec injury. Yeah, he's going to be out for a little while.
He's going to the IR. He's going to the
IR tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah, and I really like him. I like his potential. But we got a lot of guys we talking potential. But I always believe this. You got to emphasize to them that the checks they pick up aren't on potential.
Yep.
We agreed to something. Yeah, and so I'm just looking for performance based on pay. I want everybody to get paid. But you got to perform up to what you're getting paid. Otherwise, we got a problem. Because everybody can't be the highest paid around. We got it. Where's the undrafted free agent that's hungry? Where's somebody that can write a story about? We won games with so many guys in the 9th round, free agents. It doesn't matter where they were from. It's how they played. Daryl Grant, very few human beings have ever played as well at the defensive tackle spot than Daryl World Grant out of Rice, 12th round or whatever. And I'm telling you what, he beat the crap out of people. So the draft thing to me is so overrated. It's like, do we get people in here that got purpose, that really want to do something, or is it all talk? And then if they're not performing, then what is the responsibility of the coaches to get them to perform or get somebody else in? Why are we running the same people out there getting the same results?
True.
I don't like getting smoked twice. Out of 4 games, they've been smoked twice. We can lose, last second field goal, fumble, that happens. But to be gutted twice in 4 games, that's a problem. That's a problem.
If the doc, going back to the thing you said a while ago of the cesspool you came from, or the cesspool they had that was there before the group that came in right now, is the expectation for this team, because of how successful last year, a little ahead of where the actual progress is, because it was a total overhaul of what you had to do in regards to players. You got rid of, I think, what, 40 of the 53-man roster or something ridiculous. You bring up a lot of new players.
Most in football.
You're still learning the like you said, to get that identity. You're still learning the coaches what they want you to be, and getting out with the old and in with the new. Is that a part of is the expectation gotten a little bit of maybe ahead of where the progress is?
Well, let's not forget the fact that JD5 hadn't played. See, when you get a guy like that, it changes everything.
Chico.
It covers up so many mistakes because of his exceptional skill set.
Right.
You know, and that's what happens. And then you lose a couple of big play receivers, then Terry's out. So this is a thing that happened a month ago. It happened 2 months ago. When you're the leader of your team, that's why I was so to me, Terry's deal was fragile, because he's the mascot of your whole team. He's the guy you race out there and say, this is who we are. You got to get his business handled. You can't let that go into the season, because everybody's going to lose. Everybody knows, for a receiver who puts the most stress on his legs in any other position of anybody out there other than a running back, he got to be he got to be in that kind of play game shape, not running around in an empty facility or whatever. That don't cut it, because he works hard. So these problems started happening just a month or so ago. You got to handle your business. Everything's got to be done with purpose, because when the mascot of your whole program is not available, or some people feel like maybe he's being dished a little bit, then he's hurt. Everybody can get hurt. But do you think he'd been injured had he been there on time, if they'd have handled their business earlier? It's on both sides, not just him, but on both sides. Who won? Nobody won.
Exactly. Shay's got to get ready to go. Shay's got to get ready to dip out. Shay, you got one last question?
Said ice cream. Said like ice cream.
Said froze, man. Them Bulldogs. Oh, he's still thinking about it.
He said roll tide.
Let's see, dog. I was gonna let that slide. I wasn't gonna say too much. You know,
dude, I'm in last place out there. Okay? Then we got Penn State this week, so I'm just talking trash.
Ooh. One thing I would like to see is the offensive coordinator come out and make a decision to run first, pass second. If he's going to do that with Jaden this week, it's going to be a better chance that this team does well. That's what I see.
Yeah. Jaden's going to loosen everything up. It's a whole different ball game. That's like Mahomes, or Allen. When you get a generational talent, now defenses, he's going to scare the hell out of everybody. So now you'll get a better everything should flow better. But I don't want to see him getting hit unnecessarily. I just want us to establish a personality. To me, people are bitching about the Eagles. I absolutely love them. They're not this, they're not that. Here's what they are.
Winners.
It's a street fight. They come into it with brass knuckles on, and they say, let's go.
Yep.
They do that no matter what. Their receivers are bitching, and there's nobody giving a damn about you. We are going to tackle the tackle. Here we come. And so the league has said, well, Saquon ain't going to beat us. They're still winning. Okay, he may not win a trophy for yardage, but they're undefeated. They got a win streak going. That's the culture of it. And they lost some linemen. They've lost some people. But you know who they are. I'm just big on teams like they have an identity. It scares me when I don't know who you are, when you don't have a personality. Who are you? What do you do? Right. Or you get people to punk you out of what you want to do? That's what it seems like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that at all.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Okay, but hey, Doc, to that question you just said, one thing you know about these Chargers, they do have an identity. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna play defense. That's Harbaugh. That's Jim Harbaugh. You ain't gotta wonder what the game plan is. But speaking to what you're saying, what can you all do? Because one thing to throw off that is if you keep a team off balance, going about what David was saying, you want to run me versus do the thing. What you got to do first is get that team off balance, whether it's the coaching staff making play calling or the players on the field second guessing themselves. What can you all do to LA Chargers this week to keep them off balance so that you all, because you know what they're going to come in trying to do, but what do they need to do to keep them guys off balance and so you can execute your game plan?
Be who you are.
You said
he showed that and said, you got an ability to come off the ball. You got three exceptional backs, and now you got the ringleader back controlling it.
Okay.
So they're more afraid of you than you should be of them, even though I like their quarterback. But they're three. You give me a team that has three offensive linemen not playing. If this defensive line don't get up and they behind, then I'm going to get a yard sale. I'm looking for Monday for free agent. I'm looking for something. There's no excuses this week for them not to have a presence. If they go in there and let three backups beat them, then
you got more problems than you thought, man.
That's right.
Yep. I mean, look, the Chargers, it's not hard. It's what we just talked about. Like for everything that changes in the National Football League, football is still a game that's won and lost in the trenches, and the best teams do it in the trenches. You want to know what the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try to do this weekend? I can tell you on Tuesday night, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try. They're going to come out here and try to run halfback duo on the left side of the field. They're going to try to move, or right side of the field. They're going to try to move your left side, one tech, out the hole, spring Amari and Hampton. Because what's that going to do? It's going to bring Quan Martin. It's going to bring Jeremy Reeves. It's going to bring all those guys into the center of the field. And then, Doc, what are they going to do? They're going to hit him with a play action, and they're going to hit Quentin Johnson over the top. That's exactly what the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try to do. If the Washington Commanders can stop that halfback duo, they don't have to shrink that defense. That play action comes, and guess what? You got Marshawn Lattimore and Quentin Johnson, or Trey Amos on Keenan Allen, and you got Quan Martin over the top to go out there and get those overthrown passes. And Justin Herbert's got to throw the ball, and you corral him, and Dorrance Armstrong gets back on his sack record pace. That's exactly what needs to happen this weekend. Now, it sounds real simple. Doc, you've been in the trenches. You know it's not that simple, right? It sounds real simple, but that is what the Chargers are going to try to do this weekend. Halfback duo to the right side, move Deron Payne out the gap, target that linebacker with an offensive lineman climbing up the ladder, and get Amari and Hampton to seem to run through, get you sucked in, hit you over the top of play action. It's not hard to figure out what the Chargers are going to try to do. It's hard to stop it.
They're not going to trick you. They're not trying to trick you. It's Harbaugh. They're coming. That's the beauty of it. Now, it's the manhood issue this week. Who's going to control the line of scrimmage? And everything else is optional. And then we'll see who steps up. So I say it every week, I just go, we need a hero. Who's going to be a hero? Who's going to step up and prove their worth? I think they'll roar back. They've shown us now, when they fail, they come back roaring. They stump their toe. They don't make excuses. They come out and play. That's what I'm anticipating, and I'm glad that it's on the road because they need to prove now that there's not a jinx. On the road now, they've been smoked.
Yeah.
Twice.
See, and that's not good because to win, you got to be road warriors. You got to be close as you can cotton to win on the road, and so shouldn't be a hostile environment because the Chargers don't have a hostile fan base, but nevertheless,
that's your
our
LA boys.
mindset.
That's your LA family out there, Doc.
No, the Chargers, they should still be in
that's
San Diego.
That's San Diego.
But
San Diego,
the
they had a monster.
The Giants didn't do y'all no favors though by knocking them off last week because you all helped them refocus a little bit. And that's
Good.
That just means there's 200 teams coming in. That just means there's 200 teams coming in to get right this week. That's all that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I'm looking
That's
for.
all that
I'm looking
means.
for one man. I'm looking for one man, and I'm looking for one man to play off of that one man. I'm looking for Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw, set the tone. Be a dog. We know you're a dog. We all saw what you did to that 49ers reporter that night. Okay, we know you got that dog in you. Come do that to your NFL counterpart. And then Frankie Louvu, when they try to move Kinlaw out of the way and they try to get that gap open, Frankie Louvu come in there and just wreck shop. Those are the two guys that I'm looking for. If those two guys are right, then the Commanders will be able to keep the Chargers under 25 points and they'll have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kicking the ball well, punting the ball well. So all these little things, and the penalty thing too, we just got to, and they know how to do it. They've shown that they can do it. September it identified some things for us. We know what we can't do well, circumstance. We also know what we do well, and they displayed both of them. And the element is that 5 is back. And San Diego now they got to have a sleepless nights because you can have the perfect defense for him and he makes you look stupid. So our ace is going to have to be what he is. That's who he is. I'm counting on him. People say, who you like this week? I like JD5.
I do like JD. I about to say, Louvu was about to be my milk carton candidate for the week.
Don't do that.
I'll tell you this though, Frankie is missing from the stat box, but he's a lot like Ben Sinnott. He's missing from the stat box a little bit. He got a little bit better today or this weekend. But I'll tell you, Frankie is definitely having an impact out there on the field. In some ways, it's just the way that the opponents try to block him and the things that the problem is that the guys who have the opportunity to kind of filter in to where these guys, these offensive lines are attacking Frankie Louvu, they're not filtering in either fast enough, appropriately, or they're just not making the play when they do, because there's multiple missed tackles you guys saw against the Atlanta Falcons where they're filtering in to a replacement to where there's a guy supposed to be in that fit. They're pushing them out that fit. Somebody else filters in, which is a great adjustment on the fly, but they're not finishing the play.
Right, they're running each. You're right. Hey, look, hail to the victor. That one's behind them, but they've shown that bounce back. I'd be worried about them. Anytime you lose 2 weeks in a row in this league, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be underwater before you know it. You have got to even the score, start the month out with a W, and just start stacking them together because it's so they was on point. We're so early in the season from a statistical standpoint, but we're identifying our weaknesses, and there's too many of them.
Yeah,
it's just too many of them. You got to shore it up. Yeah, too many. It's just too many things that we're trying to correct, and we're talking about from every layer: the line, the linebacker, the DBs, our O-line, our wide. Every level now we're having these, and they got to tighten it up. And I believe they will, because the sense of urgency now has got to be there. Based on Atlanta getting smoked, it'd be different if Atlanta was having an epic season. They're not. They look that way against us, but that's not who they've been. Hell, they firing coaches and doing all that, and they come out and do that to you. You got to take that personal.
Okay, come on, lady, get your last one in, please.
Okay, so there's one particular player for the Chargers that he's been, kudos to him. He's been amazing. How do you think that they will fare? How will they, I guess, hold Omarion Hampton with this upcoming game?
What do you think, David?
Right, it's what I was just talking about, and look, I don't want to take anything away from Omarion Hampton, right? But Omarion Hampton has been a product of his offensive line. He's been a product of the scheme that he's running behind, just as much as Ashton Genty in Las Vegas has been a victim of the offensive line that he's running behind, right?
Amen.
And it's just what I talked about, right? Like you're going to see a bunch of double team blocks on the offensive line. They're going to look to push that lineman out of the way, and then one of them is going to disengage, attack that linebacker, give Hampton that seam, and then from there it's on Hampton because usually, right? I don't say all the time, but usually, who's the next guy that running back is going to see? Usually it's a safety, some sort of a DB. Yeah. So now you just got to make a play. Can you run that guy over? I can tell you right now, if it's Quan Martin, you're probably not going to run him over that successfully.
Right.
Okay, so can you make him miss? If you can make him miss, then you're off to the races. Find an angle, find a seam, get up the field. That's what the Chargers are doing. They're knocking the first guy off the spot. Then they're getting to that second level, keeping him from getting into the hole and giving Hampton the time to operate against a like competitor. These D linemen are not like competitors. You put a 300, 350-pound lineman on a running back, he's going to go down. What you're trying to do as an offensive line is get him against a like competitor because now I have the tools that you have. Now it's about who uses those tools better. And I can tell you just from my time in Iraq and Afghanistan, the only way you're going to kill me is by cheating because if it's me against you, I'm going to take you out. And that's exactly what Omarion Hampton is doing out there in Los Angeles.
That's the deal I signed. Listen, I told my son, I'm coming back home, so I can't break that promise. If it's me versus you, you lose every time.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm going to pray for your soul, brother, but you're going.
Yeah. You got to go. It's not
it's nothing personal. Nothing personal. This business.
Yeah.
So my last question here for both of you is this. When JD5 is in the game, we usually run a bunch of up tempo, right? We know that the Chargers want to run the ball, dominate the clock. How do we go up tempo, keep control of the clock, keep possession of the ball, and keep that offense in chase mode where they can get out of their run scheme, where they got to turn it into the hands of Justin Herbert, who we know who will overthrow once he starts to press and things of that nature. How do we do that? Maintain an up tempo and dominate the clock.
David, to me, everything is points. If we go up tempo and don't score, all we did was help them.
100%. I was about to say you're hurting yourself. If you go up tempo and you don't produce, all you're doing is helping the Chargers. I'll tell you this, Toothpick. There's a difference between no huddle and up tempo, and I think that what you're talking about is not up tempo. It's no huddle. Keep the defense on the field. You get a look you like, and this is something I will give Cliff Kingsbury and Tavita Pritchard and David Blau a lot of credit for. They have put together a no huddle package, a no huddle scheme system, whatever you want to call it, that is one of the most refined in the NFL. And Dan Orlovsky of ESPN did a really great job of breaking it down last year during the season, where they'll hit you no huddle and they will come out with 4 or 5 different alignments in that no huddle, but use the exact same personnel the entire time and force you in real time to start adjusting against unscouted looks. And it really gets defense going on the heels. But what you don't have to do is you don't have to snap the ball at 25 seconds. You don't have to snap the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Get to the line, get your guys set. Now, you don't want your linemen, you don't want your inline tight end squatting for that long and all that kind of stuff either, right? So you gotta kind of temper it just a little bit. But if you are smart about it, what you do is you try to get the Chargers catch the Chargers trying to make substitutions when they don't have to hold the clock, things like that. So you can do things to keep them on the field. I actually wanted them to do this against Micah Parsons. What I wanted them to do in week 2 against Micah Parsons was get him on the field against a heavy set, and kind of like Doc, what you were talking about, get him on the field against a heavy set, and then start going no huddle and start throwing 3 linemen at him at one time and just start beating the crap out of him.
Like the Eagles
and see
did.
how much. Exactly, just like the Eagles did, and see how much he had in him. But that's a different game. We're past that. But that's something they can do against the Chargers, is not necessarily go up tempo, but go no huddle. Keep the defense on the field. Keep the look on the field that you want. Hit them with different things. Be physical at the point of attack. Control the ball, like you said. Then put the points on the board, and it's a double whammy. Not only are you putting points on the board, but you're bleeding the clock. And once you bleed the clock and you take a lead against Harbaugh, what you do is you force him to do what he doesn't want to do, and that is getting obvious passing situations. That is where Bobby Wagner can hit that A-gap blitz, and everybody can say, oh, Bobby Wagner's not 35 no more. Now he's 28 years old, and we're good with him playing again.
Yeah, because he's running downhill.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Bobby running straight ahead to the quarterback.
That's the funny thing about them Harbaugh teams. They actually are both the same to me. I've been watching them. If you get them behind early, being whether it's Baltimore or San Diego, it's a rough time for them guys to fight back.
They're different, yeah.
They're different that way.
Well, I want to thank both of you for giving us so much time today. I always try to keep this to, 20, 25 minutes, and you've been gracious with your time.
You brought the wrong duo for that, brother. You're not getting 20, 25 minutes when Doc and I get together. That's not gonna happen.
There's too much knowledge for the 2 of y'all, man.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, If you are not watching David Harrison and Locked On podcast, you are doing yourself a disjustice because he breaks down things. It's just really good. So I follow it. He's going to teach you. He's going to keep you informed, and it's just a really good
If he can keep
content.
that
So
Willingham kid out of his office, then he'll be even better.
yeah. What's his handle, Doc? BTP underscore
BTP,
7.
yeah, underscore. Yeah. We finna hook up, man, and with Burgundy and Bold, we finna drop that next week, and it's gonna be wild.
Okay, look forward to it. Look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Doc, make sure you keep me informed about that so I can make sure I put it out and blast it out everywhere. David, man, it's been a great pleasure. Thank you all. We'll reach back out really soon
Thanks,
to
Buckeye.
get you guys back on.
Appreciate you. Good seeing you, Doc.
Yeah,
My
good evening,
pleasure.
man. Appreciate y'all, gentlemen. Always a pleasure.
And don't let the fact that Al is here deter y'all from coming back.
Oh,
Al is so happy he got a tie. I mean, I've never seen a man
Doc,
so
I'm
excited.
gonna speak the truth. If no other Cowboy fan speaking to you, I'm gonna speak it. I don't even call him Dallas. I call him Alice because we ain't got no D in Dallas right now. And I've said to you, I did not think.
Wait a minute.
That,
a realistic Cowboy fan?
He's not really.
I went into it with to say, if we can just keep it close, I'll be fine. And I did. I fell for it. I drank too much of the Kool-Aid during the game. I started believing, Doc. I swear I did. I started believing, but I went into it saying, man.
Yeah, that 2-point conversion, that block PAT saved
everything.
your life.
It turned everything. It was funny how I complained about the fact that they were celebrating 2 points. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize at the time that 2 points led to a avalanche. The fact that we went into that halftime leading did more of anything. And Dak's playing quietly but surely. He's playing like an MVP. He's not going to win it.
When doesn't he play like an MVP in the regular season?
You about to say you caught me now. I want to say that's not been a problem. I mean, his problem comes in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It won't last long.
I don't have nothing else to enjoy but this right now, dog. You know, he gave away my best gun in the house, so I got to go swing my bat at everything that comes to the door. You know.
All right. All right. All right. Lady Ann, take care.
All right, you too, Doc.
No, she's still not a free agent. She's still not a free agent, Doc. She's still not a free agent, so you can't take her from the process.
We'll talk. Yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Man, going behind my back. That was Doc Walter and David Harris. We appreciate both of them guys for joining us today.
Did Jerry wake up today?
Yes, Jerry's alive, man.
You know what, Al? Al, don't you do it.
I'm trying, man.
Today,
I'm
Al.
trying to tell you, man.
Al.
I love my team, but I hate my own.
I'm going to have to. That's not even my team, and I'm going to take up for Jerry. Don't you do it.
You want him here because all he do for y'all.
No. I just don't want you to be cruel. That's all.
I'm speaking the truth.
I understand that that's your truth. I get it. I hear you.
And I don't speak for everybody on the podcast. I only speak for
myself. You go. Thank you. Thank you.
The thoughts,
right there.
The words said out of my mouth are the reflections of Alvin only. And that do not represent anyone else on this podcast, even though they still wish him well. And I don't. But that's another story.
We wish Jerry nothing but the best. So listen. Lady A is about to take us around the NFL. Lady A, which game would you like to talk about?
We had so many games this past weekend. So many games. There is one in particular that I think that we touched on a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and speak on that. Quite often when we are doing our picks, people laugh at me because I'm like, I'm hoping for a tie or I'm picking for a tie.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, Al.
Do you know if you'd put $100 on the bet for a tie in the NFL, it was almost like plus 12,000?
I need to start doing stuff
you
like
ain't
that.
Never lied about that.
Because
that's not me. It's gone down now. I wonder if it's gone down or gone up. But I found that out the other night when it was talking about somebody.
Because we hadn't had one yet.
Yeah, it's been a while. Especially the rules.
And so here's my thing. This particular, and I'm not picking this game because of you, Al. I'm picking this game because it's a tie. Okay. Now, so we had the Green Bay Packers against the Dallas Cowboys this
Yep.
past Sunday. They were in Dallas. I mean, the first quarter was just like, oh, Dallas ain't come to play. What's going on? Maybe they had some bad juju because of, a returning team member coming back, and they didn't do quite right by him. So that's what we were thinking. We're not sure. Well, things started to turn around a little bit. And even in overtime, I'm like, okay, somebody's going to win this game. No.
Nope.
So as we go through this tie game, let's talk about these yards of Jordan Love and Dak Prescott. Jordan Love went 31 for 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott went 31 for 40, 319 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's very close.
4 total.
He ran one.
Yeah, I said passing yards, but that's
okay. I ain't want you to slide him.
80 points.
I ain't want you to slide him.
But so what I'm
80 points.
80 points. The 2 of them. But here, the reason why I mentioned the passing yards and how close these numbers were for these 2 quarterbacks is because sometimes you see stuff that's kind of off centered. It really wasn't for this particular game. When you look at the team stats, you have total yards, Green Bay 489, the Cowboys 436, passing yards total for the whole team, Green Bay 325, Dallas 319, rushing yards. Now, Green Bay had you guys on the rushing yards quite a bit, 164 to 117. But
I'll
yards
take 117.
Huh?
I'll take 117. That's not
right. But here's the thing: yards per play. Green Bay was 6.2. The Cowboys was 6.5. Like across the board, this is a tie game. Like it was absolutely crazy when I sat back and I looked at the numbers for this game.
Yeah, that's when somebody's got to be like, okay, we can't stop them.
Did you check what I asked y'all? Did you check to see if that clock manager got fired by Jerry? Because there was no way in the world it should have been 1 second left on that clock at the end of that game when Jordan Love threw that pass. It was supposed to be zeros on that clock. If they won't play that game, it should have been zeros on that clock.
They won't play that game.
First
of all, Jerry greased that man's hands before the game. So what you want?
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this: it for this game to come down to a tie. Somebody, as an offensive coordinator, has got to say, we got to run the ball because we can't stop that other offense, and we got to keep them on the bench. We got to put up more points.
They both,
but both offenses played well that game, and
yeah, I get it.
Michael Parsons,
but the Packers only ran
game-saving play.
Yeah, but the Packers only ran for 117 yards versus y'all, right? What I'm saying is,
no, we had 117.
They had 117.
Jacobs had a heck of a night. So why not put it in his belly more and more and more to bleed the clock, to keep the clock running, to keep your defense on the field and let their defense rest? Because Michael Parsons said to Dak after the game, he says, when you watch film, count your stars that our defense was off today.
He might have, but I'm gonna say something, Pick. They played to the strength of their offense and to the weakness of our defense. Our run defense has been like 10th in the league this year, top 10. Our pass defense is like dead last. So you're going to give a game plan towards passing against us because we have no back end. I mean, the only thing that has shown up or that Jerry has been right about in this trade is with the guy Frank. I think I forgot his name. Frank. The D tackle we got, Frank Martin. I think it's Martin or something like that. Whatever his name is. That we got in the trade with Green Bay. Our overall run defense has improved dramatically this year to be a top 10. And we've gotten a little pressure, but not much. But run defense wise, we're top 10. But passing wise, man, ain't no hole. Ain't no hole. Man.
Yeah, you
Ain't
don't
no
have a
bottom,
rusher. Come
ain't
on,
no
lady.
bottom
Hey,
in that
next
hole. Throw it
next
on.
game you
Just
want to talk
go.
about?
Just go. And that's
All
the and Green Bay has a wealth of wide receivers that can take the top off of defense. So I
Yeah, they do.
understand it. And they played off Jacobs very well. He was solid. But like I said, he didn't. I don't know what his per carry average was, but we, like I said, we kept him in check for the most part. But so I mean, they did what they. But the thing is, their defense did not come to play like they
Yeah,
had the previous weeks. But had they seen an offense that was playing as well, and that was without CD, his eyes been playing. Dak is throwing at a 72% clip at almost 275, 280 a game. So
yeah.
he's on clip off even against Chicago. If it wasn't for a couple uncharacteristic drops that turned into turnovers, that game could have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
that's still milk at this point. But yes.
Okay. So the next game I want to bring up is the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, this game in particular, it was Carson Wentz against AA Ron. We mentioned when we went through this game before, prior to the game happening, I mentioned Carson Wentz,
Turn it back to a pumpkin.
7 years, 7 different teams. The last 7 years, 7 different teams he started for. And I mean, is this a good place for him? Well, I mean, it looked like it almost looked like he was going to pull it off. I mean, really, the final score was 21-24. Carson Wentz,
Awful.
he didn't look as bad as I thought he would.
But
He looked horrible.
he
but
looked horrible, lady, eh?
okay,
How many dirt balls did he
hold on.
throw?
Let's back up.
Two
Let's
interceptions.
back up. Hold on. This is me talking about Carson Wentz.
You don't like him anyway. So he ain't nothing good to say.
So he didn't look as bad as I thought he would.
How bad
But
you think he would look?
worse. Those 2 interceptions, though, oh my goodness, nail in the coffin. But when you look at his stats, Carson Wentz threw 30 for 46, 350 yards,
Fourth
2
quarter.
touchdowns, and then those 2 interceptions.
What was the? Let me ask you this, lady. Do you have the stats on what was his stats in the fourth quarter? Because a lot of the yardage was in the
Let
fourth
me
quarter.
see if I can
It
pull
was garbage. It was garbage in the fourth quarter.
It was empty
He was
calories.
garbage in the fourth
So
quarter. Yeah.
I will say that yes, here's the thing. The fourth quarter, it's crazy because that's when they scored their point.
Yeah, it was 24-6 going into like in the third. Towards the
I'm
end of the game.
like,
Pittsburgh at this
what in
point
the
called
world?
up the dogs.
So I'm looking, hold on,
No.
player stats. I don't see his fourth quarter stats.
I guarantee you about 160 of that might have been in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm saying, so here's the one thing that I've noticed with Carson in the past. He will suck the whole game, right? And then and he did it with us too. So I get
love
it.
when he was y'all. I love when he was y'all. He's a great quarterback.
Anyway, he waits till the fourth quarter. He is a fourth quarter quarterback. That's it. You're not going to get nothing else from him. So if in fact, so I guess in a sense, he is a good backup because if you have your starter in and something happens and they get hurt or something like that, Carson can step in the third or fourth quarter and possibly win you the game, which is very misleading because you don't need him to start. So with that said, though, AA Ron definitely led his team to a victory over the Vikings. I will say Justin Jefferson for the Vikings, 10 receptions, 126 yards. But crazy enough, Metcalf, he had 5 receptions, 126 yards, 1 touchdown. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they literally, it's a matter of, it's not about the score, your yards. It's about making sure you score. Total yards for the 2 teams were very close, but the Vikings had more total yards, had more passing yards, but it was the rushing yards that got them. So definitely not a surprise. The Steelers ran the ball, won the game.
Yep.
You want me to cover another one?
But can I say something about Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz is it's funny. Like you said, he's definitely a backup.
Yeah.
He's definitely a backup.
But he's a backup you don't want to play.
But he's more of a back. He's more of a backup, like you say, you get divorced. They say the next person you date isn't a good person to get with for real because they're kind of right after the breakup.
So he a rebound?
But that wouldn't. He's not a rebound. He's the whore, the escort. Just did it for one night.
Oh, ow!
I'm sorry. He's the escort.
Ow!
I'm just saying that's what he is.
To your corner now.
Mama, what you saying?
He's the escort.
Oh,
You just did it for one night. That's something he's good for.
You cannot say these things.
I'm just saying. It's an analogy. I didn't call him escort.
Well, like I said, so you should have listened to what I said. I said he should not.
The opinions of Alan Porch are his opinion only and do not represent anyone on the First Thing Podcast.
I'm just
absolutely anyone.
You don't want Carson to start.
No,
but he's good to come into the game third or fourth quarter. That's what I said.
Man,
you could have.
You absolutely need to go when you need to go work on your starting quarterback and get them ready for the next week. So hey, Kelsey's gonna finish this up. Whatever happens, happens. Got it. Now listen, we're about to go to explain yourself. Explain yourself is a part that we do, is a little segment that we do here for our picks on Saturday that just didn't cash in for us. And if you did it, we need to explain ourselves as to why did we pick it and why it went so wrong for you. I'm gonna kick this off again, okay?
Man,
and the one that I have is a Monday night, part of the Monday night doubleheader.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We had two
done teams. With them.
I am totally done.
I'm with you, pick.
I told you to take Jets money line because I thought the Miami Dolphins were done. I thought that their head coach was going to be on the chopping block. I thought a fire sale was coming, right? So I said take the New York Jets money line. However, what I forgot to mention was this: Tyrod Taylor's on that team, and any team that Tyrod Taylor's on is bound to have the number one pick in the draft. And how can you have the number one pick in the draft if you stack and wins? You can't.
You are so shady. Oh my
I'm done with you, Jets. I'm
done with everything.
It's not that Tyrod is a bad player. Tyrod is a good luck charm.
He's a black cat in regards to winning.
He is a good luck charm and getting you the first pick. And I was so happy that I thought that I like Tampa Bay, but the Jets gave Tampa everything they could handle until Baker said, "Hey, I got you." So I figured that they would come in with some renewed energy. They were so close. They were so close that they could have won that game. That they would go take care of business with Miami. No, so I'm sorry. I will never tell you guys to bet Jets money line.
Thank you.
Ever again this year.
You bet money line with an 0-14.
You had.
No, the Jets gotta win.
No, let me tell you something.
You're right. They don't.
You said it with your chest.
You did.
I did.
And I was like, now I'm gonna be real with you. I lost on that game too because I thought that the Jets were going to have a closer game.
You think they were going to cover?
I did not think they were going to win, but I thought they were at least going to cover. I thought it was going to be like maybe a point or two, But you said money line with your chest, so I get it.
You did, I told you take the 2.5. Remember I said pick. You might want to take 2.5.
I said it.
That didn't even help.
Yeah, it didn't help, but still.
One bit.
But that wasn't saying it with your chest though.
Yeah, well,
hey, taking the 2.5 ain't saying it with your chest.
My chest is now collapsed and my shoulders are clapping.
It was caved in.
Can I address
it was done.
Can I address something for Cuzzo too real quick before I get into that? He asked me how did I feel about Jerry's quotes. Real quick, Cuzzo.
What happened?
I don't know. Real quick, Cuzzo. I said to Jerry, thank you, Captain Obvious. And everybody in this league knows if you have the choice between a franchise quarterback or a franchise edge rusher, you cannot win without a franchise quarterback. But you can definitely lose with a franchise defensive end or defensive rusher. So I understand that. But that was an unnecessary shot at Micah because he got beat up in the negotiations and he would not play his good old boy mentality with him And Micah stood on business. And I
Yep.
appreciate Micah standing on business.
Yep.
And Jerry, respect the man. Don't disrespect the man in your comments. Don't use Dak. Don't play them two brothers off each other because they do it. They do like each other. They love each other. They wish they could still be teammates, but because of you, they're not teammates. So that's all I got to say. Of course, you take the franchise quarterback over the franchise edge rusher. It's a no-brainer. We don't need you to tell us that. We don't need you to explain that. We don't need you to say he played like the best player. No. The boy we played against the highest paid player at his position. We know that. You told us you was gonna make him that. So don't talk bad about him now. You said you was gonna make him that. So Jerry, keep that crap to yourself. We don't appreciate it. That's all I got to say. I want to answer Cuzzo's question.
Good job. Good job. But Pick, you're muted. I don't know. The way you was talking, it might have been for the best.
No, Lady A, I was not being reckless just now. Al, excellent job. Lady A, come on, explain yourself, and then Al, you got to explain yourself.
Yes, I do.
So, 1 second. I want to piggyback off of something that we didn't share with our viewers. When you buy a suite, when you where did Pick go? Pick said I'm out of here. But when you buy a suite, okay, and you deal with the organization and they trade you. Some people would think it's common courtesy to go ahead and refund that player's money back. Well, Micah Parsons purchased a field level suite, so that's very expensive. Purchased a field level suite prior to the start of the season, which is when you're supposed to pay for your suite and your tickets, your season tickets, all that stuff. And they traded him. He went to try to get his money back. They said no. So Sunday's game, Micah had a Green Bay party on the field level suite, which is not a good look. It's never a good look. If you're in that industry, you understand. If you're not, just understand that the job of the people who sell those seats and sell those suites, their job is to preserve the fan experience. And Micah definitely had all Steelers. I mean, I said Steelers, Lord. I wish, I wish, huh? But all Green Bay party there. But to go off of what I need to explain for myself. So, same night, Pick. Same night as you.
Y'all.
But it's still one of mine. Go ahead, girl.
The Bengals and the Broncos.
The Bengals.
Let me tell y'all this. I felt like the Broncos were going to win. Don't get me wrong. I did. But given the way that the line was, I'm like, go with the over. Because I knew the Broncos were going to put up some points. I thought that the Bengals were going to actually show up and at least get a touchdown or two, maybe a touchdown in a couple of field goals or something like that. That did not happen. The over did not hit. Quite often when we talk about the over on this show, we'll say, oh, well, the over under, that's such and such a piece. Now we know that it's well, unless you're the Dallas
and Green Bay, right?
Green Bay, most of the time it's not going to be split down the middle. Somebody's going to have more points than the other. But this game, I thought that, one team was going to show up and they didn't. So that's that. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot who the Bengals were.
Yeah, especially without Joe Cool. Come on, Al, explain yourself.
Well, I'm kind of Lady A stole a little bit of my thunder, so we're gonna share this apology to all of fans of our wonderful chat, man. I apologize wholeheartedly for two things.
Okay.
For believing that Tennessee has an offense that can even go take anybody over.
Right there. And
that the Bengals have an offense that can even cover 7.5 points.
Because I looked at that Tennessee game too.
I'm sorry. I will no longer. I think I put it in the chat. But I'm gonna tell y'all what I told my co-host or my wonderful compositor. I will never ever again bet with Cincinnati or bet the Tennessee to cover anybody's over if it's not over, if it's any unless the over is set at 14. So if it's set anything above 14,
14.
I cannot guarantee that the Tennessee Titans will cover any bet. So I apologize. It's 2 weeks. I've told y'all to take Tennessee under. In 2 weeks, they've scored.
I
All
took
of
I
it
took
averaged
the
6.5
Titans plus the 7. I'm with you.
6.5 points. That's what they covered.
Well,
Six
I
and a
hope
half.
say it is.
6.5 points is what they scored in 2 weeks. They've averaged 6.
Oh man!
And here I am thinking they was going to get those points in one game.
Not even a touchdown, Lady A. They can't average a touchdown in 2 games.
Not one.
Well, the MLB playoffs are underway.
And the
wild
Dodgers
card-
are doing them. They are banging the Cincinnati Reds out of his 5-0 in the 5th. Right in the 3rd, excuse me.
Hey,
Shohei lead off.
What was the score of the Yankees game?
3-1.
Yankees Red Sox. 3-1. Who? Yankees.
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
The Yankees had the Yankees in the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, 2 strikeouts in a row.
Bam. Out there. Okay, there we go. The Cubs, I didn't get a chance to check that one out real fast. The Cubs game, which was earlier today. Somebody got an eye on that one for us right now?
I didn't see that. I was watching
the Cubs, the Padres and the Cubs. The Cubs won 3-1.
3-1. Okay. And before Lady A gets upset with us, we're going to talk about the WNBA real fast.
Yes.
Because she's all about the W. So we have half of the WNBA field set for the finals. We have the Las Vegas Aces playing the Indiana Fever. Indiana Fever.
Oh, the Fever made it?
Yeah, they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're playing right now. The Fever, the Phoenix Mercury, they're waiting for the winner of the Aces versus the Fever for the WNBA title for this year.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got another dominant big woman sitting and waiting.
Asia.
Woo!
Let's see Asia in that finals, baby.
Listen, I like her too. She's amazing.
She long.
I like her.
What?
She long.
She long.
She is.
Corner.
She's real long. What are you talking about?
She's tall.
She's tall.
That's all we
And she
see.
has a tattoo of
Keep
South
your
Carolina.
mind out the gutter, Lady A.
I didn't say it. I said corner.
Dominant big woman.
Man, listen.
Who you going for tonight, Lady A? Who you going for?
Vegas.
Good.
Me too. Vegas. I'm going Vegas.
Me too.
Yeah, just so you guys know, 2-2 for both.
Okay.
Both teams.
Cool.
This
How do you feel about the Fever doing this without Kaden Clark, baby? C-squared.
They're a complete team.
I know, but she still did she make them better? She has to make them better, right? When they come back.
She does. When she comes back, but then again, will the focus just shift back to her instead of it being a team game?
Well, she got to start playing them 50 footers too. I mean, she's walking over half court trying to impress people with her range. It needs to be within the offense. I think that'll help them a lot. But she can
it's
play
clear that they've come this far, and so they're doing quite well as a team. The team is doing well, and I just appreciate good competition. And let me refresh my screen because it was 23-23. Okay, it's 27-26 Indiana right now. We're in the second quarter. So I mean,
until we at double digits, it's a close game.
Yeah, definitely tap into WNBA. It is definitely a exciting time right now.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see who's going to be in the finals.
All right. So I hope Sid is watching right now because what's about to happen here is it's pretty remarkable. Okay, listen. We have a Thursday night football game that we have to pick here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, let me say this. We do have a new graphics department. I'm not going to tell you where they're from. Just know that they are operating with a limited budget.
That sounds like
knowing
excuses already.
knowing that we will talk about them and fire them on the spot. So they're working from week to week on a limited budget. So we will see how they are performing before
So
we
you
hire
saying they
them.
1099?
They're an independent contractor. They are. So before we play who you got, let's go back and look at what happened a couple of weeks ago. All right, so they went back and got our graphics from a couple of weeks ago, right? And this is how
A
they actually got the
couple.
job. Yeah, this is week three. Week three. We're moving on to week 5 here. Week
But
3.
it's 16 games. So how we only got 15 games? Graphics department need to get fired.
Man, you know what? This is the graphics that they said. Okay, listen, Lady A went 8-7. Lady A went 8-7. Sid went 8-7. Al went 4-11, and Toothpick went
Why your
5
voice go up when
and
you say
10.
that? Why you get an extra octave when you say 4 and 11?
Uh-huh.
I'm 4 and
Well,
11. What you talking about?
Al 4-11. All right, listen.
Okay.
That's what happened. Lady A, am I off here? I don't think I am.
Are
I'm
you
100%
off?
sure. Yeah,
How
I'm
many games
100%
was
sure.
it in
This
week
graphic,
3?
that
16.
right there. Bam.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Recount. I already could tell you that's wrong.
Oh no. I know. I can tell you why. Because that Thursday's game didn't get counted for anybody. That's why it was 15 games. That Thursday game didn't get counted for anybody.
Why would it not get counted?
Because it was lost.
I have a win on Thursday.
No, he talking about week 3. He talking about week 3 Thursday. This week,
with that week 3.
I'm talking about week 4.
Week 4 got counted. There's 16 games in week 4.
Right. I'm saying this right here is wrong.
Is it?
No, this week 3.
No.
No L's, no W's were awarded to anyone because that Thursday night game, the stats were lost. The records were lost. So.
And so moving on to week 4, you have my number wrong.
She's saying she was better than 5-11.
Yes, I do. I have my spreadsheet, and you know my spreadsheet calculates my wins.
I'm gonna tell you. What does it say? Come on, let's run it down.
Okay.
Let's run it down.
I got Seahawks Cardinals win.
That's a win.
I also have Chargers Giants win.
Hold on, wait. You skipped one. You skipped that L. That's
an L. I'm telling you my wins. So we don't have to go through every single game. I'm gonna tell you my wins.
Your Chargers Giants win.
Then I have Eagles Bucks win.
Eagles.
Right,
what was your choice? Eagle Bucks. Oh, Eagles money line.
Browns Lions win.
Browns Lions. You took the under.
Win.
And I was 44.
44 and a half, and it was 44.
No, we took it at 43.
What?
It was 43. It was 43 when I read it, and I said I put it down at 43.
You see how he be trying to do?
No, I read the actual line.
What did you pick in the LA Chargers game, Lady A?
The
under
Chargers Giants, the under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to?
I didn't expect the Giants. No, because that's what it is. You took my point away.
I didn't take your point away. The line from when I read the line was the line from when I read the line. I told you. I said the graphics.
Slighting me.
I'm not slighting you. You say I'm slighting her because the line changed.
Oh, we have another. The accounting is questionable again.
Accounting is not questionable. I have it written down.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Because now it's on and popping since I got 5.
So Lady A won 5 and 11.
I got 5 and 11 now because you want to take my stuff away.
They had made a leap at 10 and 16. Al and Pick both went 6 and 10. So this brings our records here to Sid taking a lead at 30. We got rid of that half. So Sid is 35.5 wins and 27 losses.
How
Lady
do you get rid of the 0.5,
That's a
but it's
half.
on
That's a
here.
half.
Make it make
We
sense.
got rid of the half. I said we got rid of the half, and we just put it at 0.5. That's the same thing, right?
No, I
Okay.
said, but why is it on here?
It's 0.5 because we got to keep it. He has a half of a win. You could absolutely catch him,
I know
for a
I
win,
can.
but you won't. Okay,
Oh,
because
you
I'm
a
going to catch him.
hater? Says the man with. Okay, go
Lady
ahead.
A,
You see how
Lady
people
A
talk
is
trash?
at 33 and 30. Toothpick is at 25 and 38. Al is at 24-39. So that's where we stand right now for our overall picks.
That's
Let me say
fine.
something, Lady A. I'm telling you what's a little fishy about that, Lady A.
Go ahead.
You know, Pick, we need to check that week one, right? 'Cause you know,
See,
Pick took a couple money lines that was over plus minus
No, I
200,
didn't.
and
No,
he
I
got a
didn't.
couple half points. I'm gonna go check that. I remember that because I
check the
said I
tape.
remember that, Lady A.
Check the tape.
I
Hey, well,
remember
there
that.
we met.
You gonna check
Check the
that?
tape.
Hey,
You gonna check
I'm glad
that
you
tape?
said something
Because
because
I'm a
I got week
angry
one. I got
customer.
week one
Period.
right
You're
here.
not gonna take my little money.
I got week one right here. I didn't take nothing over 200. That was only said that did that. We told him he had the
We gonna
Giants
check.
winning.
Yeah, we gonna check. We
Oh,
gonna.
I ain't had the Giants winning. I ain't know
Nah,
the Giants was
she
gonna
took
win.
the under. I
I
know
ain't gonna,
nobody had the Giant. That'd have been
yeah,
a hell of a call.
I ain't gonna pretend. I went with the under, and
Hey, if
that
I'd have had the
hit.
Giants, I'm throwing 100 down on that one. All right.
You were
I want to say
my
something before.
fault.
Okay, got you. So y'all know what time it is right now. Y'all know what time it is. We got a Thursday night football game. Al, we do have your foursome coming up, but before we get to your foursome, let's close out.
Yeah,
We're gonna close out week 4 and get into week 5 with
sure.
Al's foursome. You ready?
Whenever you up, big guy. Get my balls and my hat ready, baby. We got a good
Bam.
place, baby.
Okay, listen. So we got to reward these players that did their thing this week, and Al has selected 4 of them to take on a golf outing. So Al's been given a little bit of a budget, but sometimes he goes a little bit overboard. So we will find out whose card he's actually using. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to play Al's foursome. Who you got, Al?
Good evening, everyone. Made a slight adjustment to the rules this week, and we're going to use Lady A's card for we heard Pick was having a little approval. We getting a little decline. We went a little overboard last week, so some of the things got
you gonna run at
declined.
my card now, huh?
So we went where there was a little higher credit limit. So Lady A's card was used this week.
HR got that unlimited cards.
Yeah, we got that Black American Express, baby.
No, you're not about to run up my card.
You got to spend it when you can, baby. She don't know we got it.
I can lock my card. I can lock my card from my app.
Nah, we're gonna put her phone. We're gonna put her on Pick's Wi-Fi service so she don't get no service to make that change. So first, for the foursome, man, when you have a great game, he's like fine wine, man. He's gotten better with time. Matthew Stafford, man, 29-41, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the game-winning 88-yard play, which I don't understand how in the last 2 minutes you allow an 88-yard bomb and you only got 10 men on the field and your cornerback falls down. But that's here nor there. I digress. So Matthew Stafford, welcome to Al's foursome, man. We'll see you. The details will be in your email, of course.
I don't know if he can play. He got a bad back.
He can always play back. He can always play golf, baby. And while you're out there, bring your boy Puka Nacua. Man, let me tell you something. All Puka's done since he's been in the league is lead the NFL almost every stat of receiving. Yards, catches, and maybe even touchdowns. I'm not sure about that, but yards and catches he's had. Puka Nacua, 13 dirty dozen of receptions, 170 yards and another touchdown. And this other guy, the next guy, man, it's just, hey, man, what you want to say, man? They tried to say he was old. They tried to say he was washed up. He had to remind him. And he reminded against what I thought was the best team in the DMV, which I got to revisit that because they're not playing like it. So Patrick Mahomes, what you did to them Ravens, you made them quit. I've never seen the Ravens quit. You made them, man, take their ball and go home. You made Lamar walk off the field, then limp on the bench. I've never seen that. You walk off the
What
field.
he do, Al?
He
He
walked off the
field.
field, and then he limped on the bench. I've never seen that. So Patrick Mahomes, 25 of 37, 4 tutties. Hey man, you back, baby. They thought y'all was washed up. Just remind them, man, we are who thought you were. They're
a different team when they got speed on the field.
Man, when they picked up one receiver, and you got to wonder if they're back. Now this last selection, it's going to seem a little questionable if I put it on Lady A's card.
See,
just in case we have any discrepancies with any charges. Because one of the number one rules of being on the foursome is you got to win.
You got to win.
You got to win.
Oh, that's why he changing up some stuff.
Here comes a tie. Here comes the quarterback with a tie.
Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott.
No.
See, here's the petty. Let me tell you the petty. Any other time he calling for Dak's head, but Dak gets a tie, and you're like, oh, he can come to the party. No.
31 to 40.
For all that, Micah should have been on it.
4 tutties and carrying a team that has no legs, but you carrying them on your back, baby. Your legs are strong. Dak, man, I got to bring you back out, baby. I love you, baby. You took care of us. You gave us hope this weekend, man. So this is my reward to you. I had to pull a commissioner's pull. I had to make an executive order. And
you Donald Trump write this one in. You just Donald Trump that.
I've already locked my card.
They already pre-approved the amount, so we good.
I've locked,
of course, on Lady A's card.
I've reported it stolen.
That's ours. That's ours. Foursome for the week. Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Patty Mahomes, and Rain Dakota Prescott.
No.
This could possibly be the worst foursome ever, and we don't have to see if we will have this segment again next week. We have to put it to a vote.
That got strong legs. That's because he's doing that little hip flick thing that he do.
The worst foursome ever. Yeah. Tiger Woods does not approve.
Oh, man, listen, man. Let's don't worry about Tiger Woods, man. We good, man. Tiger ain't played in 2 years, man. He ain't got
Don't do him. Don't.
I love Tiger, but Tiger
that's the greatest. Years, okay.
Oh, that does take nothing away from his greatness. Tiger is by far my GOAT. I mean, he's by far my GOAT in one sport over any other sport comparison to. I'm not saying the greatest athlete, but in his sport, he's by far the best player in that sport than any other player I can remember any other sport that I watched currently. So.
He just sent me a text and he said, "This is what he think about your fourth member of your foursome."
That's James, baby. Hey man, how you like Jameis in Cincinnati though? Shouldn't he make a play for Jameis, man?
You said where?
In Cincinnati.
Did you forget what? Okay.
I'm just sending the quarterback.
He's better than Atlanta. Kirk Cousins may get a call to go to Cincinnati, but the problem is they don't have an offensive line. They don't have an offensive line.
They can afford it because of the exception. They can afford it because of the exception because they can go against the cap because Joe Burrow's injured. They can go against that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the injury thing, you can play with the numbers a little bit.
Because Kirk Cousins, he gonna hit him over the head for about 120.
No, they can work something out. I think that makes sense for both teams. He's got his money. Kirk got to need
120.
Well, if he need 120, then he go get Jameis.
I don't think it's 120 right now. But you have to give up some. Oh yeah.
Let me say something. When he went down to Atlanta paid him 100.
Yeah, they did.
But they're not playing him right. He got his money.
He got that money. They're just going to be on that same contract, but they're going to have to figure out some way for Atlanta to not eat that whole cap. They're going to have to figure out some kind of way for Atlanta not to eat that whole cap.
Money off Atlanta. Save Atlanta a little bit of money, pay some of that guarantee money that's left, and bring Kirk back up this way. He'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what time it is. Time to play some betting, cash, and checks. Okay, Lady A, you ready?
Well, Pitt gonna cheat it somehow.
He gonna cheat. All right, let me get to the business.
Please.
If you or someone you know is facing challenges with gambling, support is accessible. The National Council on Problem Gambling offers various resources, such as FAQs, a self-assessment for gambling behavior, details on treatment, and a helpline to link you with local assistance. You can call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800-426-2537. You can text 800-GAM. You can also visit them on the web at ncpgambling.org.
Okay. Now that we got the official things out of the way, let's say this. The graphics department put this graphic together earlier today. I'm going to absolutely read the actual line here from Caesars. And if there are any changes, I tell you that there are changes. All right. Over unders and everything like that. Okay. All right. So you in the chat, don't forget to put in who you're going with as well. Bruce, we know that you are Lady A's source
Don't lie.
already. So
Lie again.
okay. So
Okay.
let me do this. You got the San Francisco 49ers coming in off of a loss. You just heard Al brag on Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakor. We also know that the 49ers, they're the walking wounded. They are more of a mass unit than the Washington Commanders are. All right. However, the Los Angeles Rams are trying to stack W's now after coming off that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. They bounced back last week. Let's see if they can do it again. I'm going to read the line now. The San Francisco 49ers are +6.5, -110. Their money line is +250. The Los Angeles Rams are -6.5 at -110. Their money line is -320. -320. The over-under set at 46.5, 110 both ways. 46.5, 110 both ways. Al, you're at the bottom of this thing now. So you go first, I go second, Lady A's third, and Sid, if he doesn't get his pick in, takes an L.
Not a problem. Wow. That's a big spread.
Mm-hmm.
And these big spreads have been bite me in the behind. Because Cincinnati, I took that 7, Jets, Tennessee, all these is just, and the team's been covering. But it's something about this that stinks. Give me San Francisco with the 6.5.
Okay.
I think
plus the 6.5.
San Francisco plus. I think they rebound, man. I don't think the Rams are 6 point. It's a division game. I forgot. San Francisco might be on a win streak against these people. So I'm going to take the 6.5 and say I'm going to try my hand with San Francisco.
Okay, listen. Most of the time, y'all know me. I'm gonna say it with my chest. I'm gonna lay the 6.5 and blah blah blah. But this is a divisional game, and I always say 10 points is disrespectful. You get 3 at home, right? You get 3 at home, and they're giving them 6.5. You got Brock Purdy back. You got Pearsall back. You're still a couple ways from the other wide receiver coming back, but Christian McCaffrey has been healthy so far, and he's pretty much been their offense. You're still missing your tight end, but your defense has to show up. I like where your head is, Al. I like taking the free money. So give me pretty much 7 points before this game even starts. It's a division game. They're always close. They know each other, right?
Is Ayuk back and Jennings back, Lady? You know?
So they're not necessarily saying who is back, but I do have who participated in practice.
Okay.
So you said Jennings?
Rashad Jennings, he back?
Did not participate.
Okay.
And then who else did you ask about?
I think Brandon Ayuk is still out.
Ayuk.
Yeah, he's not even listed.
Okay, he's still
out. Yeah, he's still on IR. That's what I'm waiting to see with the Commanders tomorrow.
Yeah. But so you already picked yours, Al?
Yep.
All right, so the over under is set at 46.5.
Yep.
So let me tell y'all, it was 47 when I looked the other day. So it went down. but I'm scared to go with the under for this because the NFL has been trending with the over.
Yeah.
So it's not just this game. So normally in another season, I would have gone with the under because of how these two teams play each other. But this season, this 2025 season, it's real raggedy. So I'm gonna go with the over 46.5.
Over. Got it. I wrote that down. It's 46.5, Lady A. You know, your
I put
spreadsheet.
46.5.
Gotcha. We don't want no accounting problems.
We don't.
We don't need that. We don't need that. 8. We will see you guys back on Saturday with our pick show. Now, let me set up what we got coming next week. All right, we have one of our favorite guests back next week. We have C. Wall joining us next Tuesday. And trust me, she has had some receipts for you guys here lately. If you are not following her, you need to. You really, really need to. C. Wall's coming with some things. I'm gonna give you one thing that she's on the hunt for. All right, special teams. All right, pay attention to the Commanders' special teams this week. If they do not perform, I promise you, she's gonna say something about it. She's gonna say something about it. Use your clues, people. Use your clues. All right. So we'll be back on Saturday with you guys. We got Seawall next Tuesday. Al, Lady A, it's been a great show. Oh, you wanted to say something, Al? Oh, yeah. Hold on, wait. Listen, before you get into this, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something about this dude right here. All right, Kobe Bryant, dropped 81. He did some great things. Michael Jordan had the flu game, right? And there have been a ton of people who played. Brent Favre went and played with a heavy heart, threw a gang of touchdowns, right? Al, this was your flu game. Excellent show. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Man, just want to I know a lot of guys know in the DMV, man. Truly lost a legend, man. A good friend of mine, man. I talked to this guy I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. It's amazing. We're supposed to quit up after I got back next week from Arizona. And like I said, man, Lawrence, better known as Sam Moten, graduate of Archbishop Curl. I think maybe the last guy, if not the first guy, maybe the first but not the last guy to ever make all Met in the same year in basketball and football first team.
Mm-hmm.
True DMV legend, man. Passed away suddenly, man. I just ask for all the prayers in the DMV and everyone, his wonderful daughters, man. They were his heart. They was his pride and joy, man. My heart has been heavy today. I found out this today about 1 o'clock today, 1, 2 o'clock, I can't remember what time it was. My day's been in a dizzy, man. But truly, Lawrence Moten, man, a good friend, man. We spent a lot of time laughing and joking and just talking sports. He's a diehard Washington Redskins fan, a Commanders fan. We always had a great time talking our spills back and forth in the season. I'm going to miss him dearly, man. Just like I said, the world heaven gained an angel today, man, and the world lost a good one, man. Just a truly fantastic guy, man. My heart bleeds and goes out to his family and all those who knew him, man. We were better for knowing him, man, and like I said, we're going to truly miss him. So, rest in peace, rest in heaven, my man, Lawrence Moten. Love you, man. We're going to miss you. Just want to say that.
No, you know why Al had his flu game today. Heavy heart.
You can cry.
Heavy heart.
You can cry.
So, with that being said, there's nothing else left to say. Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force, First Ring Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Raise hell.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up, it's the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast Show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. know we gonna be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel